break it down now.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Good Monday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. Gill Alexander, Kelley Bydlon in the house on this Monday prior to Week 16.
What? How could that be, Gill?
In the National Football League. What are we doing? How do we get here?
Where's the season gone?
Where is he gone? It's funny. We say that on the one hand, and then you think about some events from earlier in the year. Like, oh my God, that was a long time ago.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah. It all flies by until you bring up specific games.
That was this year? My God. We will do the guessing lines exercise for Week 16 in the National Football League while looking back at the Week 15 that was. We get it. There's one more game left tonight between the Steelers and the Dolphins. 15 degrees is what they're looking at in Pittsburgh tonight, nice. I believe. 15. Tua famously. How many people throw around the Tua 0-5 below 40 degrees stat? Tua 0-5 below 40 degrees.
There it is.
Last week, I think it was 41 degrees, so it didn't count when they beat the Jets. But as soon as it gets to 40, there's hell to be paid. No TJ Watt, of course, for the Steelers. Partially collapsed lung was what happened with him in the end.
Yeah, scary.
Jeez. So that's we'll talk about that as the show goes on. Real quick before we get into all of it, because an NFL that the only way really the headline is what a bummer with all the injuries. Patrick Mahomes with a season-ending injury, ACL. The Chiefs eliminated, though. It's funny, I was on Will's podcast, Should Have Bet More, and he actually made the comment last night. He goes, even in injury, it's like the Chiefs are almost somewhat fortunate the timing of such a thing, right? You get eliminated, then he gets the full rest of the year plus the offseason to rehab. Obviously not a good thing. Micah Parsons, on the other hand, believed to have a torn ACL as well for the Packers. That, as I referred to on his show yesterday, that's the Packers' superpower. That has massive consequences in the NFC. Before we get into all that, Circa Survivor Classic, nothing happened. All 10 entries advanced, so it remains 99.95% gone, but 10 of the initial 18,718 entries are in, each intrinsically valued at $1,871,800. Easy math to do right there. And I think one person has 2 of the 10.
Yes.
Galen Hall, I believe he has 2 of the 10, which I'm trying to effort Galen on the show. I have a connection. He's a Dr. Bob guy. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get Galen on to discuss.
Sharp dude.
As Bob put it, you ready for this? As Bob put it, Gil, Galen's the only guy I can confidently say is smarter than I am. Unquote. I go, Bob, I'm right here. Here it is, by the way, in circa history in terms of getting to this point. So after quote unquote 16 weeks, meaning obviously there's a Thanksgiving quirk to all of this so far. The first year is just different from all the others. Although last year there were 50 headed into the this last portion, I believe, as well. But there was still, I guess there were still big eliminations to come. I think I have that right. First year, 53 remained. 53, it only got to 35 at the end, 2020. Last year got down to, was it 8 in the end that chopped last year, I think?
It sounds right.
I think that's correct. But that's what, by the way, 0 of 10 eliminated. 10, it should say at the bottom, not 0. We're at 10. So anyway, that's what that is. Shall we begin with Shall we begin with guessing lines for Week 16?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go. Looking for value. That's what the point of this is.
Google should know by now when I type in Survivor winners that I mean Circa Survivor and not like the reality TV show. Come on.
Google, please.
Come on.
Google slacking.
All right, you ready, Gil? Biggest game of the week. Thursday Night Football. Rams at the Seahawks.
It's all guessing lines exercises had choppy results last week, I should point out.
Yeah, that was a frustrating Sunday.
Yeah.
I started off real hot and then it went bad.
Yeah, Rams at Seahawks for the battle of the top of the NFC West and the leader in the clubhouse, because the winner will be the number 1 seed in the NFC, at least heading into the final 2 weeks of the season. Rams beat the Lions yesterday. They do it in style. Rams, first time they got the ball from their own 33. Stafford to Devontae for 17 and 18 on the drive, but 2nd and 10 on the Detroit 20. Stafford picked at point-blank range by Aiden Hutchinson. Returns at 58 yards. Detroit set up at the Rams 17. One play, Goff to St. Brown. That's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Touchdown, 7-0. Lions, 8:07 left first quarter. Rams then, 4th and 4, the Detroit 46. Stafford to Nakua for 6. 3 plays after a drop from Nakua, the rare drop. Then 4th and 8 at the Detroit 37 after Stafford missed a wide-open walk-in touchdown earlier in the sequence. To Nakua for 10, then to Parkinson for 23. Kyron in from 4, 7-7. Late first quarter. Then it'll be 10-7 Detroit in the second. Stafford to Nakua for 36, the big play on the subsequent drive. 5 plays later, Kyron in from 1, 14-10, ramifications, 8:31 left second quarter. Detroit response, 4 plays, 65 yards. First play, Goff to Amon-Ra for 52 to start. Quick hitter to St. Brown from 8 out on 3rd and 5. 17-14 Detroit to end that drive. 6:12 left in the second quarter. And then the next time Detroit would get the ball after a punt from the Rams, 9 plays, 80 yards. Goff to Jamison from 31 out. 5 plays after Goff to St. Brown for 14 on 4th and 1 at their own 29. How about Dan Campbell going for a 4th and 1 at their own 29? To St. Brown for 14, then Goff to Jamison from 31 out for the score. 24-14 Lions with 30 seconds left in the half. And as we've seen so many times this year, Kelley, 30 seconds, no problem. Mm-hmm. Stafford to Nakua for 37, helped set up a Harrison Mevis 37-yard field goal. 24-17 Lions at the half. 518 combined total yards of offense, the most in a first half this year in the NFL in this ballgame. Second half, 24-20 Detroit. This is midway through the third quarter. Rams, 9 plays, 88 yards. Stafford to Parkinson from 26 out. That appeared to be short, but somehow was called on the field as a touchdown and survived replay. What was that? Looked like I'm not even sure he caught it. But let's say he did. He was clearly a half yard short.
There was a lot of weird stuff going on there.
That was very odd.
I understood. I actually am more on the side of I'm not sure it was a catch more than the people that were like, he's definitely short. Because I'm like, I don't know that it was a catch yet when he was short.
I agree with all that. I'm not sure it was a catch. I'm not sure. So if they're saying it wasn't a catch, but for me, the not a catch was it hit the ground. It wasn't a bobble. I don't know what that was. 27-24 Rams, 2:26 left in the third quarter. Next time the Rams had the ball from midfield, 2 plays, Stafford to Nakua. Good God, is Puka good for 39. Then Corum in from 11 for the score, 34-24 Rams, closing seconds of the third quarter. Then Devontae would pull up lame with a hamstring pull on the Rams' subsequent drive. Bates would cut it to 34-27, and then the Rams would put it away. 6 plays, 68 yards. Stafford to guess who? Puka for 12. That sent Puka Nakua to the locker room briefly. He came back.
Yeah.
And then it set up Stafford to Parkinson from 11 out, 41-27. The Lions would cut it to 41-34, but could not get the ball back until there were just 13 seconds left in the game at their own 20. That was it. Stafford, 24 of 38 for 368, the presumptive MVP. Nakua, 9 catches for 181. 519 total yards for the Rams. And the Lions now, which we'll get to, oh boy, they are on the outside looking in and they need help. But they do have opponents that can get them there. So it is not bereft of hope for the Lions. Rams at the Seahawks. Seahawks in Phillip Rivers' debut. He ends up starting and plays better than some thought he would. Was 3 for 9 to begin with. It was 3-3 in this ball game. Seahawks and the Colts. Group A 55-yard field goal put the Colts up 6-3 in the second quarter. Then Indianapolis from their own 42. This is when Rivers sort of had himself a good drive. 10 plays, 58 yards. Rivers to Abdullah for 9, to Warren for 17, to Taylor for 7, to Downs for 7 into the end zone on 3rd and 3. And Rivers is pumping his fist. It's 13-3 Colts. It'd be 13-6 at the half. Third quarter. 4th and 3 at the Indianapolis 37. Darnold to Barner for 6 along the way, but they settled. They were settling all day, the Seahawks. Myers, 46-yard field goal, 13-9. Later, Darnold to Shaheed for 27 to start. 3 plays later. 3rd and 3 at the Indianapolis 46. Darnold to Jackson Smith and Jigba for 29, but they settled for a Myers 32-yard field goal, 13-12 Colts in the fourth quarter. Then Darnold to JSN for a 39-yard hookup. Great yak. Led to a Myers 30-yard field goal. Seahawks took the lead 15-13. You get the idea about this game. And then Indianapolis took over at their own 32 with 2:21 left. All 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. They got it to 4th and 3 at the Seattle 42. Group A from 60. Perfect. 16-15 Colts with 47 seconds left. And Phillip Rivers doing the old Phillip Rivers things on the sideline. Just yelling, "Dadgummit, let's go." I believe that's the direct quote. But Seattle from their own 37 with 42 seconds left and no timeouts. It's the NFL in 2025. 42 seconds, no timeouts. Our own 37, no problem. Darnold to Shaheed for 17, then for 8 2 plays later, Myers, 56-yard field goal. Good. Ball game. It was actually 18-16 Seattle with 18 seconds left. And the Colts with all 3 timeouts from their own 29. But the first play, Rivers was picked over the middle by Kobe Bryant. And that officially was the ball game. This is the Rams at the Seahawks. Again, battle for the top of the NFC West and the number 1 seed in the NFC. I said Rams minus 1.5 on the road. I think they're the better football team. But nothing would surprise me in this game.
Yeah, we're 1.5 on the Rams side. I think we did see some Seahawks ones on look-aheads, but has pretty much settled in all on the Rams side. Yeah, 1.5. I bet the under in this game on open last night, 46.5 down to like 44.5. Man, I think there's some offensive concerns with Seattle a little bit. Now, on the other side of it, I think the Rams have some defensive concerns, so we'll see if that makes things a little easier for Sam Darnold. But man, Rams a better team right now. That'd be the side I'd be looking at.
I feel like the Rams are the better football team, but the number 1 seed matters so much just because of the bye that the Seahawks can figure out a way to win this. And it is a short week on the road for the Rams. I mean, as bad as the Seahawks looked yesterday, not being able to punch in anything, it's on their racket.
Yeah, they're alive. Huge game.
Huge Thursday night game. Coming back, guessing lines, week 16 in the National Football League. It's a numbers game right here at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Want to bet smarter this holiday season? VSiN has the perfect gift for you or the sports bettor in your life. Right now, you can take advantage of our holiday special and get VSiN Pro access through May 1st for just $79. That gives you everything we do, including daily best bets for VSiN hosted guests, real-time betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, AI-powered prop tools, and weekly wide receiver cornerback matchup edges, 24/7 video and full show replays on the VSiN Watch app, complete coverage of every major sport through the spring, from football and hoops to March Madness, the NFL Draft, and the Masters. Plus, you'll get all our postseason betting guides and expert picks, including for the college football playoffs and the Super Bowl. Don't miss this limited time holiday special. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe and unwrap your betting edge today. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. We get tweets of beating the book. Let me Ron Burgundy through some of these, shall we? Pardon me. Mark Hansen, as a Packer fan, I have one comment about yesterday's game. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you enjoy the play? Yeah. Wegs Pool. The Rams-Seahawks game feels like Lions-Vikings again from 2024 playing for the division. Darnold in the spotlight. Yeah, that looms over that game as well, doesn't it? Because we all have that in the back of our mind about Sam Darnold.
Oh, definitely, man. No matter how far this team goes, it's going to be in the back of our minds every single game.
Jesse Welch. This is what I was talking about. Jesse goes, the single most important degree is that 40 to 41 degree range for Tua. It's that degree change, and then the number 2 degree change is the 33 to 32 degree change. Third is the boiling point change, but I don't know that. I don't know that off the top. Sorry. No, that was my point. It's an arbitrary cutoff, right?
I saw Jesse's tweet during the break. I said to the crew and you, I'm like, hey, I don't know what it is, but there's something with me at Vegas too, with like 5 degree difference between like, it's like, oh, it's got 5 degrees colder. Like now I'm going to have the sniffles and like have a little cold for like 2 days. It's incredible. Tua, I feel you, man.
Torch D, the one who put the satin in your panties. I kept the receipts, Gill. Put the Broncos back in your damn top 10. When you do the recap today, please refer to Bo as Goat Knicks. Okay, easy with the last part.
Ooh.
But yes, they'll be back in the top 10 for sure. Judd O'Connor, I said this before, the Sea Chickens offense hasn't evolved as the year goes on. They roll out the same game plan every week and are predictable. And congratulations, everybody, Mike Dorso among the many congratulating Joe Pete on his great Heisman ticket win.
Yeah.
He says, great win, Joe. I've always enjoyed your work since the Trading Bases days. 150-1 on Fernando Mendoza getting home for the Heisman. And it wasn't particularly close.
No, it was not.
Kind of landslidey. Not quite a landslide, but in that direction.
Diego Pavia not happy with you Heisman voters.
Mark V. What is Mark V responding to here? Let me just make sure. Oh, this should have been more podcast that we did yesterday that I did with Will. He was kind enough to invite me on his podcast. Should have been more. He says, dead on the Kansas City point. The D has been so top heavy also. And Jones and McDuffie never, ever miss a big game. Luck's been incredible. He was dogging that. I think that's in response to Will's comment about even in an ACL tear, the timing ends up beautifully for them. Richard Burkhart, proofread, I'll save you the recap. The Raiders did not make the trip to Philly. They will also not make the trip to Houston. Honestly, Richard, that is the smallest recap I think I've ever had in any game this year that's coming up.
Oh, there were games this week. I think that was number one, though.
That was number one.
Where you were like...
3 sentences goodbye.
By halftime, I don't even know if you needed by halftime,
No.
where you're like, all right, this game's completely over.
Kenny Dillingham Sexual says, don't look now, but we have a new leader in the clubhouse in the Offensive Rookie of the Year race. Are we talking about Travion?
Yeah, did you see this?
Yeah.
Down to plus 185.
You know what? He should be. Remember that game he had like 4 or 5 weeks ago? And I think he had the 2 long touchdowns, or was the game where he had the 2 long ones, or was it 3? I can't remember what it was. I'll check the game log to get exactly right. But remember I said after that, well, if he did that every week the rest of the way, then he's viable. The game that I'm referring to, I believe, was now I don't know. I think it was the at Tampa Bay game. I believe that was the game where he scored 3 touchdowns. That was the huge sort of eye-opening game for him when he 14 carries, 147 yards, 2 on the 2 touchdowns catching, but also 1 receiving in that game as well, I believe. Oh no receiving, just 2 in that game. And then the next week versus the Jets, he had 2 rushing and 1 receiving, and that sort of has been the trigger that set this all off for Travion. Plus 185, and Emeka Egbuka plus 205. Tetaroa McMillan plus 250, Dart now plus 550. And Tyler Warren finally sloughs off to 15-1 for the first time.
I don't know if I really understand this movement. I'm just pulling up, Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins have nearly identical stat lines this season. And we're talking one's 100-1 and one's down to plus 185. I don't know if I really get that. I don't know if I really understand the receiver flip.
How about, I'll tell you what's even more perplexing.
I mean, I have an Egbuka ticket, so I guess I'll get excited about that, but I don't know why he got shorter than McMillan.
I have no idea about that part. It just feels like right now, who feels like the Offensive Rookie of the Year to you? It's a really weak group.
Okay, it's a great question.
It's a really weak group.
I don't want to put it like that. It's a very okay group, but at different times this season, we've said Tyler Warren, Jackson Dart, Emeka Egbuka, Tetaroa McMillan.
Let me rephrase that. It's not a weak group. It's a weak superstar. It's a weak group in terms of producing a superstar.
I think it's a weak ending to the season with these guys.
I wouldn't say that because I think Travion is doing great things. I was never in the Jackson Dart camp with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You have to win more than 2 games. He wasn't playing enough games in the end. And then Tetaroa McMillan and Emeka Egbuka has been too hurt. And then Tetaroa, does he feel like he was? And we love McMillan. I was talking about him in college, right? I don't know. It feels like Travion. And then this last one, Bob C-137. Well, there goes my Phillip Rivers MVP ticket. I had a great number. The comeback player of the year thing, we have to table this for later in the show.
We will. We'll go through all awards tomorrow. But yeah, updated comeback player of the year, McCaffrey minus 210. Phillip Rivers 5-1.
You got to be kidding me.
Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence both 7-1.
The Phillip Rivers thing. We'll get back to the Phillip Rivers thing with the comeback player of the year. What's next?
All right, next up, we have Saturday football, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern, Eagles at Commanders.
All right, well, here are 2 games we can race through. Philly crushes the Raiders 31-0. First time they had the ball, 67 yards. Hurts to Goddard from 4 outs, 7-0. Vegas, we have 4th and 6 at the Philly 33. Pickett incomplete, intended for Lockett. Philly would have a field goal after Goddard dropped a short touchdown 2 plays earlier, 10-0. Next time they had the ball, 2 times later they had the ball, 11 plays, 70 yards. Saquon in from 2, 17-0. Third quarter, Vegas, 3rd and 3 at the Philly 35. Pickett picked by Zach Bond. Philly 10 plays, 73 yards. Hurts to Goddard from 4 out, 24-0. Next time Philly had the ball, 5 plays, 60 yards. Hurts to Brown from 27, 31-0. Philly would run out essentially the last 11 minutes off the clock. It was wild. This game was just so dumb. Do you know how many total yards the Raiders had in this game?
No, what is it?
75.
That's incredible. They ran out the last 11 minutes of it.
with the exception of I think a play or two at the end.
Because there was, like, seriously, at halftime, I had kind of made a note where I'm like, all right, this game's over. And then somehow in the second half, it was just done.
11 minutes on a drive. Like, you talk about two teams that are just checked out of this, like, let's just get off the field. Washington beats the Giants. They're up 3-0. Koo misses a 52-yarder for the Giants. And Washington set up at the Giants 47. 4 plays. Krosky Meriden from 16, 10-0 Skins. Later, it's 13-0. Giants would put together a drive here. Tracy Jr. in from 12 on a 10-play, 65-yard drive. 13-7 Skins. Giants, next time they had the ball 3 and out, ensuing punt, Jalen Lane, 63 yards to the house. That's why he was drafted by Adam Peters. Great punt returner out of Vatek. 19-7. Moody doinked the extra point off the upright. Giants, 2nd and 4th to Washington, 35. Dart pick by Sanistril. Returned to 55 yards. That would lead to another field goal, 22-7 at the half. Giants, first drive, second half, 7 plays, 82 yards. Dart to Tracy Jr. from 18 out, 22-14. Koo would then miss a 51-yard field goal, really badly left. Then Washington, 2 plays, 59 yards. Mariota to Debo for 18, and then 2 straight false starts for the Skins. And Mariota to McLaurin from 51 out, the incomparable, getting through 2 Giants defenders. 29-14 Washington, early fourth quarter. Giants would get a 4th and goal to Washington 4. Dart incomplete, intended for Wan'Dale Robinson. Washington then 3rd and 12 of the Giants 47. Mariota sacked by Dane Melton. Fumbles recovered by Brian Burns. That would set up the Giants at the Washington 21. 4 plays. Dart to Wan'Dale on 4th and 5 from the Washington 16. 29-21 with 3:43 left. And then when Washington was trying to run out the clock, Mariota to Sinnott for 36. Goes a long way to clinching it. But the next play, Jeremy McNichols hit by Abdul Carter. Fumbles recovered by Carter. So the Giants had the ball down 8 from their own 49 with 2:38 left. But they got it to 4th and 8 at the Washington 38. Dart incomplete, intended for Wan'Dale. Ball game. Philly at Washington on a Saturday. And I'll be at a wedding. What a stupidly scheduled wedding. Sorry, that is it.
I will be traveling.
Philly is now, because of Dallas's loss last night, they are on the doorstep, right? For Philly to miss the playoffs, they'd have to lose all 3, and Dallas would have to win all 3. That ain't going to happen. Philly minus 4.5 on the road.
You are light, my friend. It is 5.5, 6 everywhere.
Okay.
Mainly 6s. 5.5 at FanDuel. Or trying to get involved.
I'm not sure Philly should be that big of a favorite, to be quite honest with you.
I mean, either. What's your read on Jaden?
No read at all.
Yeah,
currently.
me either.
None whatsoever. Sit him. Don't play him. What's the point?
I wouldn't, but
What's the point? Just messing up your draft pick at this point. We'll come back looking for value. Not sure I found any yet. It's a numbers game at Visa, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Profit X, the #1 sports prediction market, is launching its 7 days of Profit Xmas giveaway. From Christmas Day through New Year's, you can win 7 different prizes just by making a $50 play on any CFP first-round game on December 19th or 20th. Every $50 qualifying play, every $50 qualifying play, that is, earns you additional entries. Prizes include clothing brand gift cards and even a $500 credit towards your rent or mortgage. Look at that. Download Profit X, use promo code VSIN to get started. Look at that, every day there. 7 days of Profit Xmas.
like it.
Look at that. Skill Alexander. We get tweets, beating the book. This is from Todd Hoyer. Appreciated your conversation with Fezzik about the South Point on Friday. Been going to Vegas for 30 years. Would have never considered it until I went there for a bowling tournament about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Loved it. Been back many times since. Nice people, food, poker, sports, etc. All the above.
At that point, a party on rodeo week.
And my mishpocha as well. Lance Schaefer wants to chime in on the Offensive Rookie of the Year discussion. He says down to 25-1, Tyler Shuck, and he has a 250-1 on Shuck. Down to 25-1, Saints are winning 2 of the final 3, and he's taking this home, Lance says. Lead the narrative for me.
Nah. Lance, I had brought it up too during the break. I've just been scouting all these stats and game logs for all these guys now.
Dart's stats are so much better than his.
So much better. Yeah. Like Tyler Shuck, look, this is a very good thing if you're a Saints fan.
Yes.
This team has showed life down the stretch, something to look forward to next season. At the end of the day, though, Gill, this man has 6 touchdowns and 5 interceptions through the air, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and Jackson Dart has 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions passing, and 7 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah, total QBR, Dart 61.8, Shuck 46.5, total yards 1802 for Dart, 1484 for Shuck. Any way you slice it, it just you can't really get there with Shuck at this point. Of course, it's not at this point that matters. I get.
You and I were talking.
There's still 3 games though left. That's the other thing about this category that I have to say. If Shuck goes ballistic, if Dart goes crazy, even the other players, right? If Egbuka has like a 3 touchdown game in a big game and everything's big for the Bucs now, right? This could all change still. This is still very much up in the air.
I get it. I get it where we were talking earlier in the season. There was a point where Egbuka, McMillan, and Tyler Warren were all top 10 in receiving yards. That's when I was saying this is a great rookie of the year race. This is incredible. They've all kind of dropped off. So I understand why why they have fallen back. I don't really get why Travion Henderson has jumped all of them. His stats are comparable to Judkins. They're not all that much better. I guess my point is saying I'm not making a bet here. I think Egbuka, McMillan, Dart, all still very, very, very live.
Pizza Money 83. Chris, R.J. Harvey has 10 offensive touchdowns. Tyler Shuck, quarterback. That might be on a 6-win Saints team. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I don't know if he was stringing 2 sentences together. I don't know what he was saying, but he likes both of them, I guess. Money Gun Guz. Carolina Panthers, you're dead to me. And congrats to your friend Fezzik for going 5-0 in millions. Fezzik currently tied for 29th in millions. Is that true?
Watch it.
Is that right? This guy. And then Richard Burkhart says, tighten it up, Alexander. The Raiders recap took way too long. We're trying to do a show here. What did I take 40 seconds on? My apologies. GV, New Jersey, New York. One note in the Giants Commodores. Wind was old Giant Stadium levels of crazy in that one. Oh, yeah, talking about the field goals? Yeah, I don't blame it. I shouldn't. I wasn't trying to pick on Koo. I should have made that clear. All right, let's get something next. Also Saturday. We have 2 Saturdays, right?
Yep. Saturday night, big one, 8:20 Eastern, Packers at Bears.
Oh, man, this is huge. The Bears back on top in the NFC North. Packers a half game behind. This winner will lead the NFC North. So we have an NFC West battle on Thursday for the lead in that division and the number 1 seed, and this for the top of the NFC North. Green Bay loses to Denver at Denver, and they lose Micah Parsons in the process. Denver 3rd and 1 at the Green Bay 49. Harvey stripped by Micah. Fumbles. Edgerrin Cooper recovers Green Bay from their own 48. 4th and 1 at the Denver 43. Love for 1. They settle for a McManus 53-yard field goal, 3-0. Later, 6-0 Green Bay. Second quarter, Denver, 10 plays, 70 yards. Knicks to Michael Bandy from 20 out. 7-6 Broncos, 8:19 left in the quarter. Green Bay responds. 9 plays, 75 yards. Love to Jaden Reed for 29 on 3rd and 3 at their own 32. Then 1st and goal at the 9, a would-be Jacobs touchdown run nullified by an illegal shift. Then 3rd and goal at the 14, Love to Jacobs. Amazing catch in the corner of the end zone over Greenlaw. 13-7 Packers. 4:29 left in the second quarter. But Denver immediately responds. 6 plays, 72 yards. Second play, 2nd and 2 at their own 36. Knicks to a wide open Sutton for 42. 4 plays later, Knicks to Lil Jordan Humphrey from 5 out. 14-13 Broncos. Closing couple minutes of the second quarter. Be 16-14 Packers at the half. After another McManus field goal. 3rd quarter, Green Bay, first time they got the ball, 4 plays, 71 yards, ticky-tack PI on Riley Moss. I feel like the refs are just picking on him at this point. On 3rd and 4 at their own 35, that nets 25 yards. Next play, Jacobs in from 40. 23-14 Packers with 13:59 left in the third quarter. Looked like the Packers were in charge at this point. Couple drives later then for the Packers, though. Love deep intended for Watson, picked by Surtain. And that's when the game changed 180 degrees at that point. Denver, 7 plays, 72 yards. Knicks to Sutton from 14 out, 23-21. Packers with 9:07 left in the third. Then the next time Denver got the ball, 11 plays, 70 yards. 4th and 1 conversion along the way. 1st and 10 the Green Bay 29. Knicks to Mims Jr. for 11. And a non-contact injury for Micah Parsons. That was the moment. Left knee, non-contact, believed to be an ACL tear. 2 plays later, Knicks to Troy Franklin from 23 out, 27-23 Broncos, end of third quarter. 2-point try fails. McManus would add a field goal to cut it to 27-26. Denver then 2nd and 8 at their own 36. Love picked by, Green Bay 2nd and 8 at their own 36. Love picked by Riley Moss. Riley Moss gets his revenge. Denver 4th and 3 at the Green Bay 45 with 5:04 left. Knicks incomplete intended for Mims Jr. Did you have a problem with Sean Payton going for that? Up a point. 4th and 3 at the Green Bay 45 with 5:04 left.
You know, it's funny. This is so team dependent. I actually did have a little bit of a problem with it because it was Denver.
Excuse me, not up a point, up 34-26 at that point. My bad.
I would have put it away.
He went for it incomplete. Green Bay then turns it over on downs. Then Denver 4th and 1 at the Green Bay 37 with 1:12 left. Adam Prentice stuff for no gain. Green Bay had one more shot at it from their own 38 with 1:07 left. No timeouts. 4 and out. Ball game. Broncos win it and look good doing it. But again, the upshot of that, we're talking Packers here. Micah Parsons, ACL. Like I said earlier, it's your superpower. That was that team's superpower. And now it's taken away from you. And I don't know. I don't know if I can, as far as like a Super Bowl contender now, that is definitely a notch down.
And Christian Watson too, right? He's out.
And Christian Watson on that Surtain pick got hurt.
Zion Williamson of the NFL.
Chicago Bears yesterday crushed the Browns. Second time the Bears had the ball for the Cleveland 42, 6 plays. Swift in from 6, 7-0 Bears. Then Cleveland, 4th and 1 at their own 39. They decide to punt. I don't know why. You're the Browns. Why don't you go for it? 4th and 1 at your own 39, down 7-0. They punt. Chicago goes 7 plays, 80 yards. Caleb to Burden for 40, the big chunk. 3 plays later, Caleb to DJ Moore from 3 out, 14-0. Next time Chicago got the ball, they get to a goal-to-go situation. But Myles Garrett, with his 21st sack of the year, led to a Santos field goal try wide right, 3rd from 35. Cleveland, after Shador hit Isaiah Bond deep for 42 on 3rd and 10 at their own 25, they punt 4th and 17 at the Chicago 40. Okay, I guess. 14-3 Chicago.
It was windy. I get it, but yeah.
After a Schmidt 50-yard field goal, 14-3. This is the second half. And then Cleveland, first play, 1st and 10 at their own 17. Shador picked by DeMarco Jackson. Chicago set up at the Cleveland 22. 1 play. Caleb threw 2 defenders. I don't know how he did that. To DJ Moore, touchdown. That was such a Caleb play. Let me just wing this into a group. Hey, look, touchdown. 21-3 Bears.
Looks good when it works out.
Cleveland, second play, 2nd and 9 from their own 28. Shador to Bond for 47. 3 plays later, 3rd and 9 at the Chicago 24. Shador, perfect pass to Judy in the end zone. Hits him in the numbers, and it bounces right off him right to Jalen Johnson for the pick. This Bears year of turning the ball over from their opponent is just amazing. Stuff like that happens too. Chicago, 80 yards. Swift in from 17, 28-3. You get the idea. It ends 31-3 after another Shador pick to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. This is the Packers at the Bears. I still have to make the Packers a slight favorite, -2.5.
Yeah, we are. Packers were 3 on the look ahead, reopened 2.5 yesterday, bet down to 1.5. That is pretty much where we're at everywhere right now.
These so far are some easy lines to make.
I threw the Bears in a teaser already, up to 7.5.
Check the weather.
Yep.
Check the weather. For sure. We got to talk about the Phillip Rivers thing coming up. But we got to talk about also the playoff picture, which in the AFC and NFC look very clear now with 3 games left. I don't mean crystal clear. Nothing has been determined exactly. But right now, I think we know the 7 in the AFC. Colts still want to say something about that, but the Colts have the toughest remaining schedule down the stretch. We'll get to that. Can the Lions figure their way back in the NFC? That's the big question. Other than that, we kind of feel like we know. Obviously, the top of the AFC North and NFC South to be determined. But at least we know just 1 from those divisions. We'll get into all of it. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on the numbers game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Read this thing on Twitter's up, right? We're looking at tweets. And in the trends, it says, NFL fans debate extra point versus 2-point try in Week 15 thrillers. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? So the Vikings up 34-26. They go for 1 to go up 8 instead of go for 2 to go up 9. Same thing with the Broncos, right? To go up 8 against the Packers instead of going for 2 to go up 9, meaning 2 possessions versus 1 possession. Statistically speaking, if you're up 9, obviously, you have a better win probability than 8. But the 2-point tries, 48 to 50% success makes it a statistical toss-up. We're just inventing debates now.
I feel like the one that's left out so often in these conversations, it's just time. Time remaining matters so much when you talk about these.
Of course, as we've discussed many times here. So far, these lines have been easy to peg. Let me just talk about the playoff picture real quick in each of these conferences, what I was referring to on the other side. AFC right now. AFC, Kelley, Bydlon. It is pretty clear who's going to make the playoffs. Patriots and Buffalo, 11-3 and 10-4, in whatever order, right? We'll get to that game. In whatever order in the AFC East. Broncos and Chargers, 12-2 and 10-4 in the AFC West. The winner of the AFC North between Pittsburgh and Baltimore, whoever that ends up being. Huge game tonight for the Steelers. And then Jacksonville 10-4 atop the AFC South, with the Texans at 9-5 right now inhabiting the final position, the Colts at 8-6 on the outside looking in. And the Colts have the hardest remaining schedule in the NFL. So it really does feel like we know the 7, Baltimore and Pittsburgh being the 7th. We don't know which of those two will inhabit the AFC North title. But are there other teams that are mathematically alive? I guess the Dolphins are mathematically alive tonight, but they ain't making the playoffs. So the AFC looks really clear. The Colts are really the only team on the outside looking in that has a shot. But good luck with that schedule. The NFC is almost as clear, not quite though.
It feels the same way to me, man.
Rams, Seahawks, Niners, 11-3, 11-3, 10-4 out of the West. They're all making it. Tampa Bay, Carolina, winner in the South. That's the 4th. Philly's going to be the team from the East, 5. Cowboys aren't going to win 3 and Eagles lose 3, one would assume. And then the only question comes down to which 2 out of the 3 teams in the North make it between Chicago, Green Bay, and Detroit. Right now, Detroit's on the outside looking in. But they all kind of play, right? Chicago still has to play both Detroit and Green Bay.
Right.
So that still has not. So in that case, it's actually, unlike the Colts, really uphill climb to get from the outside to the inside. In the case of the NFC North, that's obviously a more realistic discussion to have in terms of how it could result different ways. So it's very clear. 3 games left in the season. It's very clear, though, or it's clearing up anyway. And if we,
and the Lions feel they feel way more live than the Colts do right now.
Well, not only in terms of what the standings are and who they play, but also just in terms of being a good football team, right?
Right.
If the Lions could just figure out a way in, you could see that offense winning some games. Their defense is suspect, though, man. Injuries once again for the Lions.
Man, I'll tell you though, things you look back on at this point and what we thought of before the season. Tip of the cap to the AFC South.
Yes.
You did not have the Jaguars
Absolutely.
being 10-4 at this point, Texans 9-5, and Colts 8-6.
Now imagine taking those 3 minutes we just talked about, the playoff picture, and going back to ourselves in August and playing that for us. What would be the most shocking thing of all that?
Patriots, Jaguars, probably where they're at.
Patriots would be shocking, but you know what the most shocking is? That Carolina is in it with Tampa Bay at the top of the NFC South. That would be the single most surprising team of all this.
Yeah, but then if I followed up and I'm like, but they're 7-7,
South.
like they're 7, where they're 500
Right.
football teams battling for it.
Well, in that case, the bigger surprise is the one by omission. Where are the Chiefs?
I was just going to say that's probably the bigger one.
That would be the biggest. But in terms of like who's in it besides that, you'd be like, okay, Patriots, surprising, especially the fact that they're at top of the division.
I mean, the fact that we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, right, not being around in the playoffs, that's probably the biggest.
Although the Ravens are still in it, right, with their subpar record. All right, next.
All right, Sunday early window, Bills at Browns.
10-4 Bills, 3-11 Browns. Browns we just talked about losing to the Bears. Shador, 18 of 35 for 177. Anybody want to bet on him for Offensive Rookie of the Year while we're at it? Since we're naming everybody.
Everybody else has been thrown in there.
They were outgained by the Bears, 361 to 192. As far as the Bills Patriots, game of the day yesterday. Game of the day.
Hey, Shador's 300 to 1, same odds as the first overall pick, Cam Ward.
There you go. New England, 3rd and 7th, their own 45. First drive of the game, May to Butte for 30. Keyshawn Booty, they were pronouncing yesterday. Keyshawn Booty for 30. Diving catch would have been overturned because he trapped it. Where's replay assist? Nowhere to be found. 4 plays later, May in from 8, 7-0 Pats.
Yeah, that was the one, though. They did a good job rushing to the line.
They did.
Yeah.
But, like, you can see them rushing to the line for a reason. That always kills me in the NFL. It's like, why do you think they're sprinting to the line?
It should be a signal for you guys that something might be a little up with that last play.
It's like the NFL version of like having your hands behind your back. Well, there's nothing to see here behind my back. Two drives later for the Patriots. It's up 7-0 from midfield. 6 plays. May in from 5, 14-0 Pats. Late first quarter. At this point in the game, Buffalo was being outgained 144-5. 9-0 in terms of first downs.
Yeah, it was looking bad.
And it continued. New England, 8 plays, 94 yards. Travion in from 52. 21-0 Patriots. 5:53 left in the second quarter. And then Ray Davis, the kickstarter, 38-yard kickoff return with a face mask tacked on, set up at the New England 42. 7 plays later, Allen to Knox for 19 on 3rd and 5 at the New England 26, by the way. 2 plays after that, the 7th play of the drive. Allen to Cook from 5 out, 21-7 Pats. It would be 24-7 Patriots at the half. And you're like, wow, changing of the guard, Patriots going to clinch the division. But Ray Davis, opening kickoff return, second half, 58 yards, sets up Buffalo at New England 44, 6 plays, 3rd and 3 at the New England 26. Allen for 22 plays later. Allen to Knox from 4 out, 24-14. And then a New England 3 and out. And at that point, everybody's scrambling to look at Buffalo in game. After May was sacked by Milano during that 3 and out. Buffalo, 11 plays, 70 yards. Cook in from 3, dives into the end zone. Knees never touched the ground. 24-21 Pats, 3:51 left, third quarter. Then New England got into Buffalo territory, but a false start and a hold set them back. 3rd and 25 at their own 42. May picked deep by Tre'Davious White, like an arm punt. Buffalo then from their own 9, 4th and 3 at the New England 45. Allen deep to Shakir for 37 to the 8. PI on Marcus Jones anyway. 3 plays later, 3rd and goal to 14. Allen a dime to Knox, touchdown. And the Bills lead it 28-24 with 10:03 left in the 4th. New England 1 play, though. Travion from 65 out. May sprinting downfield and throwing blocks.
A great block.
31, like Joe Theismann. Sorry, had to get him in there. 31-28 New England. 9:49 left. Buffalo from their own 35, though. 3rd and 4th in New England 47. PI on New England. Tugging on Coleman. 3 plays later, Cooking from 11 out. 34-31 Bills with 6:48 left. Pardon me. Then after New England 3 and out with another Milano sack in there and a Buffalo 3 and out, New England got the ball back down 3 from their own 17 with 2:43 left. All 3 timeouts at the 2-minute warning. 4 and out. 4th and 5 at the New England 22. May pass deflected to the ground. Buffalo set up at the New England 22. New England has all 3 timeouts, but they can't prevent a first down. Ball game. What a comeback from a 21-0 deficit. The Bills say, not so fast, Patriots. Not so fast, my friend. And Buffalo now a game behind the Patriots in the AFC East. The Broncos inhabit the number 1 seed. Patriots didn't even before this week. Now they're even further behind. And this could get interesting in the AFC playoffs. Buffalo at Cleveland. I say Buffalo minus 7.5 on the road.
Josh Allen going to steal this MVP from me. How just painful would that be? The Bills are 10.5 point road favorites.
Wow, I'm way low.
Yeah.
10.5 road?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
Man, this team.
Here's my takeaway with this. You know how earlier in the year I was like, oh, Kansas City and Detroit Super Bowl matchup, and I never got around to betting it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I didn't. Still don't have a Super Bowl matchup. I said this on Should Have Bet More podcast yesterday. 3 weeks left in the regular season. Right now, if I said to you, who's in the Super Bowl? I kind of feel like there's only one answer.
Bills and Rams?
Bills and Rams. And the Broncos justifiably can push back on that and say, yeah, but if we get the number 1 seed, the advantage of having the number 1 seed is, and by the way, Seattle. If Seattle beats the Rams and they get the number 1 seed, that's why this is the most quirky, ridiculous NFL season ever, because like, and Aaron Schatz and DVOA reflects this. Good teams that have bad rankings, bad teams that have good rankings. If you get the number 1 seed, not having to play a playoff game is by far the greatest advantage you can have.
Mm-hmm.
Handicap all you want, but not playing and immediately advancing is an advantage unlike any other. And so we'll see. Feels like that, Bills, Rams, but not if they don't get number 1 seeds. It won't be that easy. Coming back.
The The numbers told the story. They always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 2 of a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. Gill Alexander, Kelley, Bydlon on this Monday, just ahead of Week 16 in the National Football League. You're away for Christmas week next week, right?
I am. I will be in
good for you.
Beautiful South Florida. Although, as we were just talking about, the weather has been very, very nice here.
Today,
I know the running bit was me complaining about how cold it was a couple weeks ago, but usually that starts the sharp decline in temps here.
Yeah.
We've really leveled out. It's been nice.
I went to San Francisco over the weekend, and when it gets into the 50s in San Francisco, it's not your normal 50. It's, for whatever reason, a bone-chilling 50.
I was going to say, the only times 50s. I've ever been there, it's freezing.
And I can't really explain it. It's just like, oh, it's only 50s? That's not that bad. Oh, here it is. Mm-hmm. Anyway, back here, 70 degrees today. It's going to be. And tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's amazing. We'll have a good time, man. We'll miss you.
Appreciate it, man.
We get tweets at
Danny be filling in.
Danny Higgins. Danny Higgins going to be here. Looking forward to that. Kevin Bender on Twitter. I agreed with you on Buffalo. And when they were down 21-0, you could have bet them plus 12.5 or maybe even better. Can you talk about if you in-gamed it and stuck with your pregame notion? I chickened out and kicked myself now. Well, as the guys on the group chat can assess, or can attest to, I should say, I did. It was literally the only game I got right yesterday was Buffalo. And when they were down, I didn't do it at 21-0. I did it at 24-14 when the Patriots had the 3-and-out. And I got in at plus 215, which wasn't really that great of a number. And when I threw it out to the group chat, I think Todd later said I wanted 250 or better to play it, so he didn't play it. But that's the only thing I did right yesterday. You could feel that happening in that game. Donnie Miller.
I had a little bit of that too. I had Josh Allen over his rushing yards, and I had over in the game. Yeah. That's about as well. That was the high point of my day. Everything went south after that.
Me too. It was the high point of my day. Nothing else worked out. Donnie Miller. Not sure how intently you watched the end of the epic Panthers-Saints tilt. Oh, I did, Donnie. But after Shuck left the field from that vicious late hit, this is a great question. Rattler ran the next play before kicking the game-winning field goal. Does Rattler get credit for leading the game-winning drive? It's an outstanding question. I did notice it, and I thought the same myself. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, first of all, is that a stat? Game-winning drives?
Well, yeah, whenever you hear, by the way, do you know who, since 2023, do you know who has the most fourth-quarter comebacks? Let's put it that way. Of all NFL quarterbacks?
Since when?
2023.
Fourth quarter comebacks.
Think about a team that is
Josh Allen.
His name is Bryce Young. Now,
that's the most Bryce Young stat ever.
Because you have to be down, first of all, a lot of these.
It's a clutch player in the NBA.
He's got the most. Now, game-winning drives is very specific because you have to be down heading into your final drive. But I don't know. Shuck started it, Rattler ended it, so I don't know. Donnie Miller, great minds, though.
I don't. Here's the thing. Immediately, I think of whoever started the drive is actually it's their game-winning drive.
I would think so.
But
he didn't end it, though. And what's the point then if you don't end it?
It doesn't matter.
Is it you only play one play to start the drive and then you get her? Lance Schaefer, I have Travion in pocket too. He says at 35-1 for offensive rookie of the year. But how about them Spurs? Oh, we got to talk about that too.
Oh, I've got the one Travion Henderson stat that has helped me understand the move a little bit. Still don't really know if I'd be running to bet it, but most games with multiple 50-plus yard touchdown runs in NFL history, okay? Saquon Barkley, 2. Chris Johnson, 2. Chris Johnson played 130 games. Saquon's played 104. And Travion Henderson has 2 as well in 14 career games.
Chicks love the long ball.
2 games with multiple 50-plus yard touchdown runs. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
This is from J.R. Budaris. You guys are sleeping on the Texans in that nasty D. You're right, JR. If the Texans got to the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be shocked at this point.
I don't really know that I've been sleeping on them the past few weeks.
I'm not sleeping on. Torch D.
They might be the second best team in the AFC.
Torch D, the one to put the set on your panties, tweets in, Rams versus Broncos, Super Bowl, baby. Got it 20-1 in November. That's the bet you should make, although it's 10-1 now. Again, if those are the number 1 seeds, that's the favorite for sure. regardless of what your handicaps are on other teams. Kevin Ryan, Gill, I think it's time to start believing in both the Broncos and the Bears, certainly more so the Broncos. If they host the AFC Championship game, look out. No, absolutely about the Broncos. 100%. Absolutely. Bears, not so much. Nevada Azer, in your opinion, Denver wins the 1 seed, Buffalo wins the East, Rams win the West, Stafford has over 40 touchdowns. Who's the MVP? Stafford.
Say again?
He says,
Broncos.
In your opinion, Denver gets the number 1 seed,
Yep.
Buffalo wins the East,
Yep.
Rams win the West, Stafford has over 40 touchdowns. Who's the MVP? Stafford.
Well, if the Rams win the West, they're probably the 1 seed at Stafford. I think that's a slam dunk Stafford situation.
Right. Stafford, because there's a Lifetime Achievement Award for him, and I'm being consistent with what I said last year about Lamar Jackson's stats. Lamar Jackson should have won the MVP last year with his record-breaking, like he rewrote the record book, and they didn't give it to him. Stafford's touchdown-to-interception ratio is exactly like Lamar's last year.
I think the more interesting question is what has to happen for Josh Allen to win the MVP?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's going to win it.
See, I'm more scared of him right now than I am of Drake May, and I don't think that I should be. Because I think if the Patriots still capture the 1 seed, there's a chance he could win this.
Rhodes
Better
knows.
chance.
No Burrow, no Mahomes, no Lamar, possibly. If it's not Allen and the Bills this year, do the Bills move on from McDermott? I mean, his greatest quality as a coach is having Josh Allen.
Bro, here's the problem, man. Like, I'm the Bills guy, right? I'm the Bills guy. This team is not that good.
No.
They're really not that good.
They're not.
Josh Allen's just Superman. The defense sucks. The defense is terrible.
Fred Leonard's. I had Seattle on the look ahead -3.5 versus the Colts and never stood a chance.
Oh, it's brutal. Oh, man. That game moved 10 points. I didn't even think about that.
Never stood a chance.
I was beating myself up, too, end of last week for not grabbing that on the look ahead. Oh, man.
What's next?
Jeez. This one's going to take me a minute to get over. All right, early window on Sunday, Chargers at Cowboys.
What is the, if we were to pick the forgotten team Super Bowl, would it not be Niners Chargers?
Colts on the look ahead. Oh, it's brutal.
What's the forgotten team Super Bowl? Niners Chargers. Niners Chargers.
Chargers or Jags?
Or Jags.
We'll go Chargers and Jags from the AFC.
I actually think we've forgotten more about the Chargers than we have the Jags, to be quite honest.
I don't think we've forgotten about the 49ers at all. The 49ers, they are who we thought they were.
No,
Gil.
I'm talking about the amount of airtime given to teams as viable Super Bowl contenders. I feel like it's...
Can only personally speak for us. It would probably be 49ers and Chargers then.
Chargers, yesterday, beat the Chiefs, knocked the Chiefs out of playoff contention. Other things had to happen. But the Chargers are the one that put the death knell in the Chiefs. 11 plays, 68 yards, sidearm, 3rd and 11 conversion along the way. This is the Chiefs with the ball. 11 plays, 68 yards, sidearm, 3rd and 11 conversion along the way to Kelley for 17. 4 plays later, Mahomes in from 12. 7-0 Chiefs. 7-3 later in the half. Chargers 3rd and 11 at their own 20. Herbert hit by Tranquil as he throws. Flutter ball picked by Ashton Gallott. Kansas City from the Chargers 19. Settle for a Butker 27-yard field goal, 10-3 Chiefs. Then it would be 13-3 Chiefs, 38 seconds left in the second quarter. Chargers from their own 40 with 33 seconds left after Keandre Lambert-Smith's 37-yard kickoff return. Second play, 2nd and 10 at their own 40. Herbert to Trey Harris for 37. 3 plays later, Herbert to Lambert-Smith from 16 out on 3rd and 3. Touchdown. 13-10 Chiefs at the half. That's after it was 13-3 with 33 seconds left. We've said it 3 times already in the show. This is, we talk about the kickoff and punt returns, the rate of field goals that are made, the unbelievable epidemic of there's so little time left in halves or games, and the team's ability not only to matriculate into field goal range but to score touchdowns is just incredible.
Does it bother you?
A little bit.
Okay.
Was that the question? Or was there more to that question?
I'm kind of getting that there too.
Yeah.
But it's just such it's a combination of multiple things, right? Like, is there one thing you feel like you can point to and be like, if you change this, we'd be okay with it?
Not getting all the way down the field. We're way behind on this one, by the way. Chiefs 13-10 at the half. Chargers on the drive that sees Chris Jones get hurt temporarily there. They get to first and goal at the 4. Can't punch it in. Dicker field goal 13-13. Later, 16-13 Chargers. Kansas City from their own 34 now is in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 16 at their own 38. Mahomes to Thornton for 31, but an illegal block. So 3rd and 5 at their own 49. Mahomes to Thornton for 21. Tony Jefferson tossed for a helmet-to-helmet. Flips the bird to the crowd. 3 plays later, 3rd and 12 at the Chargers 17. Mahomes picked by Diane Henley, at the 1. 12:41 left in the game. Kansas City now down 3 again from their own 8 with 5:20 left to matriculate. But first and 10 at the Chargers 46 at the 2-minute warning. Mahomes' knee hyperextends. ACL tear, knocked out. Adding injury to insult. Minshew in. 1st and 20 at their own 44 to Kelley for 11. Minshew to Rice for 3. 3rd and 7 at the Chargers 43. Minshew to Kelley for 8. They only need 3 to tie. By the way, that third down conversion, the ball took forever to get there. 1st and 10 at the Chargers 34. Incomplete. Delay of game. 2nd and 15 at the Chargers 39. Minshew picked by Derwin James. Ball game. Chiefs dynasty over. Mahomes ACL tear.
Yeah, man.
We'll get to the other part of this. But Chargers at Cowboys. The Cowboys. Those of us who had Cowboys. By the way, here's the Mahomes era. Kansas City Chiefs results by season. This is the first season since 2014 that the Chiefs have missed the playoffs. And this is the epic run that we're showing where they got to 7 AFC title games in a row. It's amazing. 5 out of the last 6 Super Bowls. It's just an unbelievable run. Missing the playoffs for the first time since 2014, 3 years before Patrick Mahomes was even drafted, when it was an Alex Smith team. Unbelievable. We'll get to the guess on the Chargers-Cowboys next.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
We invite you to check out the Sharp Plays Unmatched Transparency with records updated daily, AI betting analysis, real-time global betting information, alerts directly from the pros. Scan the QR code for more, sharpplays.com. We get tweets beating the book. I always appreciate it from y'all. This is Stringfellow Hawk, our buddy, says, glad I'm not the only one who went to bed mad, had the Giants -2 and the money line against Washington. Capped it off with Dallas team total over 33.5 and live over 60.5.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I ended up betting Dallas pretty heavy last night. That was fun.
Derek, Dr. Derek, 82. Chargers Niners from July, 100-1. Great show as always. Thank you, Derek. David Shalafor, referring to himself as a Massachusetts resident and a slur, compounded into one word. You know what that is, don't you?
Yes.
He says, yo, big blank here, but felt it coming. Grab Bills at half, plus 350 and plus 9.5. Happy holidays. Thank you. Schizo 360 with a fake Chris Collinsworth quote. You ready for this? Quote, nobody gets eliminated from the playoffs better than Patrick Mahomes. The way he looks good losing is incredible. It's really something we've never seen before. I'd love to have his children, Mike. He's a big Mahomes fan. Brian Young at Notorious Guns. What's crazy about Mahomes tearing his ACL, both him and Brady sat their first year, went on to win 3 Super Bowls the next 7 years, and in year 9, both tear their ACL. Keep up the great work, fellas, and happy holidays. Thank you, Brian. You too. Yeah, he's going to be okay. You know, ACL again, ACL injuries, you are okay eventually. The question is, can he start game 1 next year? That would be slightly aggressive. Chris Godwin is sort of the standard bearer for quickest ACL recovery and getting back on the field. But obviously, quarterback, you don't need it as much. And it's not his plant foot either. So will Mahomes be ready for week 1? Maybe. If he is, will he be 100%? Probably not. But it is a fortunate, in quotes, if you're going to have an ACL injury and you're going to be eliminated, it doesn't get much more convenient than, oh, we're eliminated anyway, let's go have surgery. By the way, ACL surgery, you don't do immediately. You like wait 2 weeks for whatever reason, 3 weeks.
Oh, is that what they got to wait for like swelling to come down or something?
Right. Yeah. A couple of NFL notes for tonight's game, thanks to Danny Higgins. Danny, letting us know from Tom Pelissero, the Steelers have added running back Jaylen Warren to the injury report as questionable with an illness for tonight's game with Miami. Not good for the Steelers, who are already going to be without TJ Watt. By the way, partially collapsed lung. Steelers have not ruled him out yet for the rest of the season. Not yet. And then in one of the, I don't know, it's not amusing when someone loses their job, but you tell me, Kelley. Ian Rappaport reports that Jets coach Aaron Glenn has fired defensive coordinator Steve Wilks. Oh, he's the problem.
That was the problem all along, Gill.
Oh, that's the problem. Yeah.
Time to turn the season around.
Back to the Chargers and the Cowboys. In case you missed Sunday Night Football, and maybe you were footballed out by then. But for my Cowboys bets to really have life, Cowboys had to win this game last night against the Vikings. And guess what? They did not. Minnesota second play, second and 4 at their own 38. McCarthy picked by Quinnen Williams. Dallas set up at the Minnesota 35. They show field goal formation on 4th and 4 at the Minnesota 29, but they flip it. They fake it, flip it to Aubrey, who gains 6 before he slides. 6 plays later, 4th and 1 at the 2. Javonte for 1. Next play, Javonte in from 1. 7-0 Cowboys. Minnesota, a couple drives later from their own 47, McCarthy to Jones for 18 with a horse collar by Reddy Stewart tacked on. By the way, that was a vicious horse collar, too. That was like textbook horse collar, hip drop, everything. What are you doing? Next play, McCarthy to Naylor from 20 out, 7-7. Dallas would respond, 6 plays, 73 yards. Dak to Lamb for 30, the big chunk. Malik Davis in from 1 because Javonte was hurt for like a quarter of this game before he came back. 14-7, Cowboys early second quarter. Minnesota 3rd and 8 at their own 38. McCarthy deep to a wide open Addison behind the defense for 58 to the 4. 4 plays later, 4th and goal to 1. McCarthy on a naked bootleg fools everyone, does the gritty. 14-14. Who was the guy, by the way, one of our lovely listeners gave me the term for what they perceive of McCarthy. Can you give me that new Gen Z term for how he feels? It's a guy who feels like he's cooler than he is term. Someone's going to text me in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got no idea what you're talking about, bro.
Yeah, no, it was a great term. I said it on air a few weeks ago.
All I know is
glad you were paying attention.
JJ McCarthy, you've looked a lot better. I don't know if I'd be doing that kind of dance set before you break the plane there. Aubrey,
51-yard field goal try wide right. Aubrey missed 2 last night.
Missed 2.
Riker hits a field goal to make it 17-14 Vikings. This is in the third quarter. Then Aubrey would make a 37-yarder, 17-17. We go to the fourth. 20-17 Dallas now after Aubrey hits a 26-yarder. And then 23-17 Dallas after he hits a 41-yarder. Minnesota 8 plays, 73 yards, 4th and 3 at the Dallas 37. McCarthy to Naylor for 23. 3 plays later, C.J. Hammond for 1. 24-23 Vikings, closing stages of the third quarter. Then Aubrey would 59-yard field goal try way right. Minnesota 5 plays, 51 yards. To Oliver for 18, to Hawkinson for 18, to Naylor from 4 out. 31-23 Vikings. And then Dallas 4th and 7 at the Minnesota 45. Dak to Malik Davis for 6. And that would really kind of be all she wrote. The Vikings would add a field goal, 34-23. Then Aubrey would kick a field goal in the closing seconds to make it 34-26, but the onside kick failed. So the Cowboys lose. The Cowboys not mathematically eliminated, but really their playoff probability now is 1%. Again, they'd have to win out. The Eagles would have to lose out. Chargers at the Cowboys. Chargers minus 2.5. 10-4 Chargers, 6-7-1 Cowboys.
Well, Gill, I think you found a bet. You're on the other side. Cowboys, 1.5 to 2.5 point favorites.
That's a bet. Bing, bing, bing. Now explain to me why the Cowboys are favored on this.
I don't really have a good explanation for you on that, buddy.
The Chargers defense, to me, is one of the underrated great defenses in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Extremely well coached by Jesse Minter. I will happily take the Chargers there.
I mean, they're still banged up, right? Herbert's still playing through an injury, but
didn't seem to hurt him yesterday.
Yeah, I'm with you. That was not a great. Actually, I actually don't know what to take away fully yet from that Cowboys game last night.
I just bet the Chargers +2.
I do think that was more about McCarthy and the Vikings than it was about the Cowboys to me.
You said it was about who more than the other?
It's more about about McCarthy and the Vikings impressing.
Yeah, good for McCarthy. He's looked really bad, and then at times this year there have been moments where he has looked good.
Oh, if you're a Minnesota fan, I mean, right now. The defense is playing great, has been playing great for the past few weeks. I mean, all season long they've been good. But McCarthy's showing you life here the past couple weeks. At least you got something heading into next season.
Let's squeeze in one more.
Chiefs at Titans.
The 6-8 eliminated Kansas City Chiefs with Gardner Minshew at quarterback against the 2-12 Titans. We already talked about the Chiefs. First time in 11 seasons they failed to make the playoffs. Only the second time in the Andy Reid Chiefs era they missed the playoffs. How about that? Tennessee lose to the Niners. Niners, 12 plays, 70 yards. Purdy to Kittle for 23, the big play. 9 plays later, Purdy to Juwan Jennings from 4 out, 7-0 Niners. And for the first time in many weeks, it feels like the Titans don't take an early lead. After a sly field goal, 7-3 Niners. Then Niners 7 plays, 70 yards. Purdy to Kittle for 24. Sets up McCaffrey in from 1. 14-3 early second quarter. Tennessee, though, 8 plays, 68 yards. Ward to Gunnar Helm from 34 out, 14-10 Niners. It'd be 17-10 Niners at the half. Then the Niners would extend it. 4 plays, 67 yards to begin the third quarter. Purdy to Ricky Pearsall, who the color commentator kept referring to as Pearsall yesterday during the broadcast, for 38, the big chunk. 2 plays later, Purdy to Juwan from 13 out, 24-10 Niners. And then the next time the Niners had the ball, 15 plays, 95 yards. Purdy for 26. Purdy 4th and 1 conversion. Purdy to Kittle from 1 out, 31-10 late third quarter. And if you've got the Niners minus the 12, 12.5, whatever it closed at, you're feeling pretty good, up 21, right? Yeah. Well, next time San Francisco had the ball up 21, 3rd and 10 at their own 44, Purdy sacked by Jeffrey Simmons, fumbles, recovered by Khair Elam. Tennessee set up at the San Francisco 44, Cam to Van Jefferson for 43, Ward to Simmons from 1 out, tackle eligible. Simmons scoring a touchdown. He was pumped, 31-17 early fourth quarter. And then Pinheiro makes it 34-17, and the Titans come back with a 10-play, 64-yard drive. Pollard in from 6, 34-24 Niners. The Titans are in the number, inside the number. But a Pinheiro 40-yard field goal ends it, and the Niners not only win but cover 37-24. Chiefs at Titans. No Mahomes, nothing to play for the first time in years and years and years. But it is the Titans. So it's got to be more than 3. I'll say Chiefs minus 3.5.
Ding, ding, ding. 3 or 3.5 out there.
Besides, let me say this. Besides the Chargers, Cowboys, and I guess that Bills line I was short on, these are really easy lines to make.
Yeah. Yeah, you were. So this was look ahead 10.5. Reopened 4.5, and it was all Titans money. I can't argue.
No, I can't.
I mean, what is the mindset of this Chiefs team coming into this game?
I mean, if you've been with this franchise,
right,
you've never been in this situation.
Never been in this situation. I mean, you've got a lot of guys that are banged up. You think they'd hold out? Probably not even gonna play. Like, I don't know what Chris Jones was like at the end of that game yesterday, but I don't know if he's playing in this game. And if you're the Titans, the Super Bowl of the season, right? The chance to take down the Chiefs.
Titans, Raiders, and Giants, all 2-12, battling for draft position. Giants right now on the clock. Coming back on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The college football playoffs kick off Friday, and it's VSiN's got the guide you need to bet the postseason with confidence. Our CFP betting guide is out now and features full previews of every first-round game, CFP overview and insider breakdowns, best bets and customer brackets from VSiN experts, Steve Makinen's power ratings, bowl picks across the VSiN network, including Kelley Bydlon's aggregated ones. That's exciting. Yes, no?
Hey, just a bracket, not picks.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's right.
Aggregated by someone smarter than me.
You can buy the guide right now for $14.99 or upgrade to VSiN Pro. Upgrade. And get the guide included, plus full access to daily best bets, real-time betting splits, AI-powered prop tools, and 24/7 video on the VSiN Watch app. Get your guide now at VSiN.com/CFP. That's VSIN.com/CFP. We get tweets at Beatty the Book. Y'all are the best. Dan Groeschel. Every time I hear someone talk about the timeline for an ACL recovery, I'm more astonished at the Adrian Peterson recovery. Tore his ACL and MCL on Christmas Eve 2011. 2012, 16 starts, 2,097 yards on 348 carries. That might be the standard bearer. You're right.
Sounds like a
Christmas Eve tears ACL, MCL, and then goes nuts the next year. Played the whole season. And
he was good.
And then again, Patrick Mahomes doesn't need it like a running back does or a wide receiver. So I'm just saying, can he play week 1? Again, it's aggressive. But we'll see. This is from Deborah Malott. Hey, Deborah. Good day, A&G gentlemen. Question, if I may please. Mahomes, is he a pocket quarterback? If not, I don't believe he is. With his injury, how can he start next season? Fantastic show as always. Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. He'll play next year. The question is just when. Will he be there for the very first game or not? Good friend Chillionaire. Gill and Kelley, not sure of the Gen Z term, but what comes after 5? 6, 7. My kids would be proud. Long shots. I don't know what the 6, 7. Richard Burkhardt. My teen daughter calls those guys tryhards. Oh, I've heard that term. I have that term in my house as well. I've heard them call guys that, tryhards.
Yeah, okay.
But a Joe named Jim is the guy. This is the term that I was looking for. Thank you, a Joe named Jim. Thank you so much. He goes, hey, Gill, I think you're referring to aura farming with McCarthy.
Wow.
Aura
you did
farming.
bring up aura farming before.
Aura farming. That's right. Next, let's get some value. Oh, so Chargers. I made a bet on the Chargers. That's my first.
All right, use aura farming in another sentence for me.
Aura farming?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a situation where someone could say this to my face and I wouldn't heavily roll my eyes or laugh out loud.
Hey, Kelley, you know the way that you have a pronounced arm swing?
Yeah.
Looks like you're aura farming.
I don't even know what that means now. So now you're just upset at me because I don't even know what that means.
I'm just trying to squeeze it into a
I'm
sentence.
going to tell you, I'm like Kevin Hart. What was that? Kevin Hart, 40-year-old virgin, was like, I don't even know what you're saying to me, so I'm going to take it as an insult.
That's great.
Oh, man. All right, next game. We've got Bengals at the Dolphins.
Oh, man, was I wrong about the Bengals yesterday. Bengals lose to the Ravens. Although it started in a way where it could have been very different. Cincinnati got to the Baltimore 25 twice in a row. First drive, they get to the Baltimore 25, but they punt after Burrow was sacked by Tavius Robinson. The next drive, they get to the Baltimore 29. I lied. 3rd and 5 at the Baltimore 29. Burrow picked by Marlon Humphrey off a deflection. So that was kind of the moment where, that was it for Cincinnati. Baltimore 2nd and 8 at the Cincinnati 40 then. Lamar picked by Jordan Battle off a deflection. Zay should have had it. He returns the favor. But then Cincinnati a 3 and out after Burrow doesn't see a wide open Jamar Chase deep. On 3rd. Baltimore then goes 5 plays, 79 yards. Lamar to Hopkins for 32. 3 plays later, Lamar to Rasheed Allen from 30 out, mostly yak. 7-0 Ravens. And then Baltimore, 5 plays, 80 yards. Lamar to Zay for 26 to start. Lamar to Zay Flowers from 28 out to end it with 23 seconds left in the half. 14-0 Ravens. 3rd quarter, Cincinnati 4th and 4 at the Baltimore 32 down, 2 touchdowns. Burrow incomplete, deep intended for Gesicki. Then 17-0 Baltimore. Cincinnati, this is the Bengals offense. Burrow, Jamar, trying to score points. Cincinnati from their own 13, 3rd and 7 at the Baltimore 7. They matriculate the ball 80 yards. Burrow picked by Kyle Van Noy. Takes it 10 yards. Then he hands it back to Alohi Gilman for the final 84. That was smoothly done.
Yeah. Looks good when it's done right.
24-0. There's your ball game. That's how it would end. It is hard. I tried articulating this on Will's Should Have Bet More podcast last night. I probably didn't do a good job of this. But let's just put it this way. It was hard for me to separate the Bengals' performance yesterday from that Joe Burrow press conference.
Oh, I think,
you know what I mean?
I think everybody felt that way.
I'm like, after those first couple drives, I'm like, Jamar Chase wide open, he didn't see him.
Yep.
Gesicki really was a bad bet. I'm like, who am I watching?
You're watching a guy who just told the world his
Yes.
head is elsewhere right now, right?
And
Or he's got thoughts swirling about his future.
You could not help but think that yesterday, I think, watching that game.
I'm totally with you. That's all I was thinking.
Cincinnati's at Miami. Miami sight unseen. They play the Steelers tonight. I put Cincinnati as a 1.5 point favorite, but I don't know. I mean, if the Dolphins were to win tonight, that would obviously change.
Other side of the fence here, Dolphins 1.5.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, after yesterday, I can't really argue with that. But we'll see. We'll see how the Dolphins look tonight. Next.
All right, next up, we have Jets at the Saints. Tickets available.
Yeah, some of these games yesterday, man. So the Jets get crushed by the Jaguars. Jags started 9 plays, 72 yards. Trevor to Thomas Jr. from 4 out, 7-0. Jets then went 4 and out, 4th and 1 at their own 44. Brees hit for a 6-yard loss. Jacksonville set up at the Jets 38, 5 plays. 3rd and 13 at the Jets 15. Trevor in for the score from 15 out, 14-0. Then Jets, 8 plays, 65 yards. Cook to Isaiah Williams. That's Brady Cook to Isaiah Williams for 25 on 3rd and 5 at their own 40. 5 plays later, Cook to Adonai Echad from 9 out, 14-7, Jacksonville. And then after a Bishal Tootin 43-yard kickoff return, set up at their own 45, 6 plays, Trevor to Tootin from 16 out, 21-7. That'll be 21-10. And then 24-10. And then the Jets, late second quarter, second play, 2nd and 9 at their own 36. Cook picked by Monteric Brown. Great catch. Jacksonville from the Jets, 47 with 107 left, 5 plays. Trevor for 20 to start. Trevor to Etienne from 20 out to end it. Diving catch. Great catch. 31-10 at the half. Is there really any reason to go through the rest of this other than Trevor kept scoring touchdowns or passing for touchdowns? Trevor Lawrence ended up having 5 touchdown passes, 1 more on the ground. He becomes the first player ever, and we'll get to this with Jacksonville later, but he became the first player in NFL history with 5+ passing touchdowns, 1+ rushing touchdown, and 50+ rushing yards in a single game against these Jets. By the way, the game ended 48-20, and Cook ended the game with 2 interceptions. Picked in the end zone by Ventrell Miller, picked by Antonio Johnson. And then the Jets, we just learned, fired their defensive coordinator because he's the problem.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, saw this note from Greg Rosenthal earlier. In their 7 games since their bye, Jags have averaged 32.9 points per game.
They played anyone during that stretch of note?
A few teams.
Yeah.
Chargers, Texans.
All right.
Raiders, Cardinals, Titans, Colts, Jets.
This is the Jets, though. Who are they playing? The Saints? Saints and the Panthers yesterday. Panthers had it on their, well, they didn't really have it on their racket because the Bucs, no matter what happened with the Panthers yesterday, remember, the Panthers and the Bucs play this week and week 18. So while this game mattered, in the end, it ultimately didn't necessarily because of those 2 games, but at least they would have had a leg up, right? It would have mattered if, something happened in that 3rd game. It was always good to be a game up on this. But you get the idea. The Bucs still had control if they could sweep the Panthers. Yeah. As it turns out, the Panthers, 13 plays, 74 yards. Dowdle in from 4, 7-0 Panthers. New Orleans from their own 5, a couple drives later, 17 plays, 95 yards. 4th and 1 at the Carolina 6. Taysom for 2. Maybe a Taysom Hill sighting. Next play, Devin Neal in from 4, 7-7. It'd be 10-7 Carolina at the half. And then second half, Carolina, 8 plays, 70 yards. 3rd play, 3rd and 7 at their own 33. Bryce to Leggett for 34, 5 plays later. Bryce, beautiful pass to Jalen Coker from 32 out to make it 17-7. Then it's 17-10, Carolina 4th and 1 at the New Orleans 35. Hubbard, stuff for no gain. New Orleans returns the favor from their own 40, 4th and 1 at the Carolina 23. Shuck hit before the sticks. Then New Orleans down 7 plays, 78 yards, all through the air. Shuck to Olave from 12 out. 17 apiece with 2:29 left. Carolina would have to punt then, and New Orleans got the ball back, but from their own 9 with 57 seconds left. Their own 9, they need a field goal. Shuck to Audric Estime for 19, then to Estime for 9, then to Olave for 15. 2 plays later, 2nd and 10 at the Carolina 48 with 12 seconds left. Shuck for 4, but Lathan Ransom hits him after he gave himself up. Instant field goal range on the penalty. What are you doing? Rattler comes in for 1 play, and 2 plays later, Charlie Smythe from the International Player Pathway Program from 47 bisects the uprights. Wow. He makes it feel like field goal kicking ain't that hard. He's like, all right, I'll play your sport. Watch me wallop this one in. 20-17, Saints win it. Panthers down to 7-7. They are tied with the Bucs atop the NFC South. Saints rise to 4-10. I'll say Saints -3 hosting the Jets.
Oh, they're above that, Gill. This team is hot. 4.5-point favorites are your New Orleans Saints.
Wow. Okay. You say so. Coming back.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Back on a numbers game, live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas, Nevada. Gill Alexander. That right there is Kelley Bydlon, everybody. Producer number 9. So much more than a producer. Kelley Bydlon on Twitter. For some reason. I don't know why. He goes with that.
Congratulations to Matt Humans on 100 McRibs so far this season.
100 McRibs from what date?
Well, apparently, according to my research,
Yeah.
McRib came back November 11th. Had a picture up on Twitter this morning. He said it's from his trip from in Hawaii. So a couple weeks ago even. I don't know. It's 100 in about a month.
So that's 3 a day. Kind of pace. I mean, I guess if you
I don't know what he does at meal. I'm going to guess he does 3 McRibs at meal, a sit down though.
Oh, that's right.
I don't think they're all that big.
I don't think that's If you like that,
I'm sure Humans has done more in the past. I just didn't know this McRib thing was still such a thing with him.
Remember that documentary that guy Morgan Spurlock did, Super Size Me, where he ate all the McDonald's for a month?
Remember he brought down, like he took down Super Size. McDonald's wouldn't Super Size stuff after that.
I wonder if Humans has seen that movie. Humans would probably smirk at that movie. He'd be like,
probably.
Are you kidding me?
Legend, man.
Medical marvel. Mad Humans. Knocking down the McRibs. He's still doing that thing where he's freezing them in his refrigerator.
I don't know. We were just talking about that. I don't know if he's still doing that or not. One other update, just as important.
Just as important as that.
Anthony Richardson has been cleared medically.
What are we doing?
Hopes to practice in near future. That's the report.
All right. Can we briefly talk about this comeback player of the year thing? So Phillip Rivers is down to plus 350 in some spots for comeback player of the year. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers threw for 120 yards yesterday in the Colts loss. What do we do? By the way, we're showing 5-1
at
DraftKings
odds. Yeah, they are a little all over the place.
But they are all over the place. But nonetheless, let's take 5-1. Forget it. He is shorter than Dak.
Yeah, that makes my blood boil.
What are we talking about?
And Trevor Lawrence. I've been making a big deal of the greatness of the comeback player of the year race all year.
Wait, what are we talking about? Is this not the dumbest thing you've ever heard? He threw for 120 yards and they lost. There's only 3 games left in the season. He played in 1 so far. Yep. By the way, if you watch Phillip Rivers yesterday, it was not that impressive.
No, it was not.
It wasn't. But have we gotten to the point in life? Let's just think about this again. I went through the Flacco stats. Mm-hmm. He threw for 300 yards, 4 out of his 5 games. He led the Browns into the playoffs. Pardon me. 2 of those games was like a 374 and a 368 off the street. Alex Smith had 17 surgeries on a knee, came back. Remember we were saying with the Alex Smith stuff, like if he shows up on the field. And then we amended it to he has to throw 1 forward pass because he had 17 surgeries on a knee. By the way, he led the NFL in passing 1 week with 390 yards on his way to that award. Have we lowered the bar so much that a dude who has been retired for 5 years at the age of 44 has to do nothing, that people are betting this? But by the way, in 44, can I just say this? When I was 44, and I was not in the NFL, this just in, but you know what I was doing at 44? Running like the Lion Street steps in San Francisco back and forth and trying to set records every day. We're acting like 44 is 64. Stop. Everybody stop with this.
You might be more mad than me now.
Just no. This is not a thing.
So
I'll tell you what is a thing, though. Uncle Bush, this is a tweet. Has Mahomes been installed as comeback player of the year yet for next year? He said, I'm guessing lines minus 1,100. He's so right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It does get down to, eventually you get to the point, though, of how many games did you miss where, was 3 games enough? That's where this argument gets tough, right? Missing 3 games versus missing a half a season or more, right?
Oh, with the Mahomes thing? For sure.
Yeah. That's for that.
For sure.
Okay, there's one thing I remembered over the weekend, and I cannot remember whether we had this conversation with him on air or off air. It was early in the season. I believe Aaron Schatz's first check-in with us after the first quarter of the season. You may remember Darren Waller for about a week and a half had a whole narrative of him coming out of retirement.
Yes.
And we asked Aaron how he would treat it. Aaron Schatz, a voter, an NFL awards voter. How he would treat that for comeback player of the year. Was retirement looked at as the same as a Joe Flacco coming off the couch sort of thing? And Aaron did say he would treat that differently. So I think it is something for us to keep in mind. But
Darren Waller also had off the field issues as well. Like big time off the field stuff. Phillip Rivers is a voluntary retirement and there's no off the field issues other than some people might say he's very prolific in other regards, and I don't think that's an issue. Good for him, right? But so I'm just saying, I don't know what's the narrative here other than he just is there.
He's old and he's playing football. Yeah, that's all it is.
It's not enough.
Now, really though, I don't think this is a discussion. First of all, for him to even be in the discussion, the Colts have to make the playoffs.
Oh, some people think it is a discussion. You don't understand. Some people legitimately think it's a discussion.
I don't think it is. Unless the Colts make the playoffs, I'm willing to consider the narrative push for him. But I think it sucks.
We said from the beginning, he's got the hardest remaining schedule in the NFL. What are they doing? And now when you bring up Anthony Richardson, it's like, what are we really doing? Like, he's going to play now?
I don't know. I think it really sucks, though, that this is... I think it's McCaffrey. I'm shocked to see Dak has drifted past Rivers, but whatever. If it's McCaffrey, Dak, even Trevor Lawrence, like, this is why you built out the rules was to try to make sure it went to a story like that. Somebody who had been injured and coming back and putting up a good statistical season.
Yeah. You don't give it to the guy who died on the field. Now you want to give it to a dude who just voluntarily retired and did nothing so far. Has done nothing. By the way, Butter Knife Sharp on Twitter. You were talking Super Size Me documentary. It was later determined Morgan Spurlock was an alcoholic and was drinking heavily during the filming. The health issues such as liver and kidney failure were most likely more due to his drinking. Is that right? Did they determine that?
That's wild.
I didn't hear that part.
You might need to be drinking to eat that much McDonald's.
And Mike Barton, JJ aura farming? Yes, we had determined that it was aura farming. Thank you for that term. Let's get one in here. Let's get a few in. What do you got?
Vikings at Titans.
Wait, where do you have the Titans playing?
Vikings at Giants.
Oh, by Titans, you mean Giants.
That's right. That's who I mean.
Because Giants are Titans, if you know what I mean. Vikings at the Giants. 6-8 Vikings.
Good save.
Now my alternate season win total under on the Vikings is in jeopardy after that last night. At the Giants, that season win total under is not in jeopardy. McCarthy was 15 of 24 in victory yesterday for 250. Dart was 20 of 36 for 246 in defeat, but carried the ball 9 times for 63 yards against the Skins. I'll say the Vikings minus 3.5 after last night.
The Vikings
on the road
are 2.5 to 3 point favorites.
Ooh, I went higher.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are some 2.5s out there. 2.75, pretty much split across the board.
That's interesting. Okay. Though I will say the Cowboys moved on that Vikings defense a lot yesterday. But
yeah.
The Giants offense ain't the Cowboys.
Right.
I'm considering that one. Well, okay. I won't race to bet it like I did the Chargers, but I'm considering that. Next.
Bucks at Panthers.
All right, so this is the first of the two meetings between these two teams in the final 3 weeks of the season that will go a long way towards determining the winner of the NFC South and therefore a playoff berth. Now, the game in between, the Panthers have the worst of it. The Buccaneers get to play the Dolphins, and I believe the Panthers are playing the Seahawks. Is that correct? So they get the worst of it. So the Panthers are at home here. Panthers are in a gots-to-win situation here. I'll say Carolina minus 2.5.
Yes, Seahawks. It is Buccaneers minus 3.
Ooh, I like the Panthers plus 3. Give me the Panthers. Betting it right now. What I don't really understand why the Bucks are. They got all those players back. They should have beaten the Falcons, but I'll take the Panthers plus 3. I think they're live.
All right. I will bring up.
Did.
Well, two things real quick. 2 things on this. First of all, I'm not going to speak for Gill. I'll speak for myself. If you ever see me in public talking about going to make a Panthers bet and maybe I'm approaching the window with money, just come out of nowhere and just give me, just knock me out. Take my money, take my wallet, because I cannot get this team right any week that I bet them. So I'll say that for myself. The Bucks. Here's the thing with the Bucks, Gill. Is there a chance 4 or 5 weeks from now we're saying this is the team that got healthy right at the right time while everybody else was getting hurt?
I'd love to see it. But yeah, Todd Bowles just going off on his team. Their defense is terrible all of a sudden.
Yeah. I think that's the part that's the concern. Because Mike Evans back. Yeah. You get Baker a little healthier here off that shoulder.
I'd love to see it.
Still can't get over Todd Bowles. I'm so angry with this team right now. I will use cuss words here so you know that I am angry and not a robot.
Yeah.
Todd Bowles.
It's real moving speech is what it was. Again, like I said when we were talking about last week, usually when a soft-spoken person goes on an invective-laced tirade, you catches your attention. Todd Bowles is like, yeah, okay, buddy. We got more games to get to. We got Adam Burke to get to as well. And we do have to talk about the OKC Thunder gacking another NBA Cup. Oh, man. It's coming up on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The The numbers told the story. They always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is A Numbers Game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Hour number 3 of A Numbers Game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. It's Gill Alexander. That right there is Kelley Bydlon, everybody. Kelley Bydlon.
Yes.
Disappearing before our eyes. By the way, this hour is brought to you by Better, B-E-T-R. Better Picks is the daily fantasy sports app where your sports knowledge turns into real cash and fast. Download Better or visit better.app now. Sign up today, get a free $10, no deposit necessary. Once again, that's better.app. Check it out there. By the way, I just want to read a couple tweets here. This is from Aya Oya, S69. Said, I was watching the Todd Bowles presser after their loss to the Falcons. I was thinking, was there a member of the press just sitting there debating whether he should ask about the playoffs to see if we could get a Jim Mora type nuclear meltdown from Todd Bowles? You know, what about the playoffs, Todd? He'd be like, playoffs? We're talking about playoffs?
I think we've got a lot of more important things to focus on right now, like the X's and O's.
Playoffs.
And how hard we're trying.
Billy Charlebois, in regards to not betting on Carolina, I pick every game every week and then chart how I do with each team. I will bet on teams I am hot on and against my picks when cold on a team. Interesting.
Yeah. Now, I'm talking about it doesn't matter whether I bet on them or against them, because every time I bet against them, I get the Bryce Young Hall of Fame game.
My Irvin Santana
there you go.
thing.
I should have known. I should have known when you asked me the trivia question of the show earlier, the most fourth quarter comebacks. Of course, it's Bryce Young.
Yeah.
No idea. Are we sure he's good? He's bad? He's anywhere in between? I still don't know about the kid.
Sometimes he looks great. Really does.
All right, you ready
let's
for the
get
next
to more
one?
games. Let's get to a bunch more.
All right, late window. This is a good one, I think. Sunday, 4:05 Eastern. Jags at Broncos.
All right, this is a barometer check for both of these teams. Jacksonville's 10-4, Denver's 12-2. Denver, the number 1 seed currently in the AFC. Jacksonville atop the AFC South, though Houston in their rear view, a game back. Trevor yesterday, as we mentioned, 20 of 32 for 330, 5 touchdowns, no picks against the Jets, 5 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown. They outgained the Jets 438 to 284. He's the first player in NFL history with 5+ passing touchdowns, 1+ rushing touchdown, and 50+ rushing yards in a single game. Bo Nix in the Broncos win over the Packers, 23 of 34 for 302, 4 touchdowns, no picks himself. Cortland Sutton, 7 catches for 113 and a touchdown. Denver, and we talked about both of those games. Denver -3. I don't know what else you can make it. Yep.
Denver -3.
Okay.
Across the board, nothing. I'm with you. I don't know what else you make it here.
It'll be interesting to see. Give us a good read on both of these teams.
See, does it though? Like, who do you feel you've got a better grasp for right now?
Broncos.
Me too.
I don't know what the Jaguars are.
So, okay, me too. Who do you think has a potentially higher ceiling?
Broncos, actually, with their number 1 seed.
Yeah, okay. I didn't really think about that part of it. I guess if we're talking from that standpoint, I'm with you. I don't know. I feel like I need these teams to go up against someone I feel like I know very well for it to be a true barometer game, right? Like it's two teams that are still a little bit of unknowns for me.
I wonder how many people have actually watched full Jaguars games.
No, that's it. That right there, right? I'm with you. I don't think there's a ton out there.
And they're just crushing some of these teams.
Mm-hmm. Especially recently. All right, 4:05 Eastern, Falcons at Cardinals.
Falcons off the Thursday night win, almost impossible win against the Bucs. That was an amazing game to go through on Friday morning. Cousins was 30 of 44 for 373, and it was the Kyle Pitts game. By the way, 3 touchdowns, no picks for Cousins. What a game for Curtis Cousins, as Todd calls him. Pitts, 11 for 166, 3 touchdowns, first tight end to reach 150 yards with at least 3 touchdowns in a game since Shannon Sharp did it in 1996. And Bydlon filled up the box score, 19 carries for 93 and a touch, 8 catches for 82. Atlanta, remember, overcame 19 penalties for 125 yards, 476 total yards. And then there's Arizona. Oh, this is the one game we haven't recapped yet. Arizona loses to Houston. There wasn't much to see here either. You know, Houston, second place, 2nd and 8, owned 43. Stroud to Collins for 57, touchdown, 7-0 Texans. Ensuing kickoff, Jalen Brooks popped, fumbles, recovered by Dare Ogunbowale. Houston set up at the Arizona 22, settle for a Fairbairn field goal, 10-0. Then Houston set up at the Arizona 49. Next drive, 24-yard PI along the way. Marks in from 1 when he fielded a snap that went through Stroud's legs. 17-0 Texans. And then from that point forward, it was just cosmetic, really, right? Arizona got it to 17-7. Then it was 20-7, 23-7 at half. Third quarter, Arizona, 2nd and 20 at the Houston 22. Brissett picked in the end zone by Kamari Lassiter. Houston, second play of the ensuing drive, 1st and 10 at their own 34. Jawar Jordan for 50. 6 plays later, Stroud to Schultz from 4 out, 30-7. The Cardinals would get it to 33-20, but really never threatened.
Yeah.
And then Houston would add a garbage touchdown, 10 plays from their own 45. Stroud to Collins for 24 to start, then to Collins from 4 out, 40-20. Texans win it, kind of casually. Atlanta at Arizona. I don't know. Arizona minus 1.5. This is totally the answer to the question of what is the game you want no part of this weekend?
Falcons, 2.5-point road favorites.
I don't know, and I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, okay, sure. Maybe that line's better than mine. I have no idea.
I had this like a pick'em. Yeah.
I thought I was doing it couldn't be Cardinals by 3. I got that part. But I didn't like Atlanta. Atlanta has better players.
I know the Cardinals defense is really banged up, and these Cardinals overs has been a thing here. I just pulled up their schedule. We knew it was going to be tough at the end of the year, right? We knew the NFC West was going to be tough. I'll speak for myself. I thought this Cardinals team was going to be a little better. Here's their opponents they've lost to here recently. Texans, Rams, Bucks, Jags, 49ers, Seahawks. Beat the Cowboys. And then even go back before that, Packers, Colts, Titans, Seahawks, 49ers, Panthers, Saints. It's a ridiculous schedule.
I also think it's one of those schedules that got worse as the year developed.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Right. The Seahawks became, oh, wow, they're really good. Oh, the Jaguars are better than most thought. The Texans are better. It's like.
Yeah, you hit the Texans at the worst time possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a brutal schedule.
That's the Cardinals you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not racing to bet that. Either way.
Me either. That was just a interesting point from Kelley, not actually need to back up a bet.
The thing about it is that's one of those games where if you lose on it, you're like, why am I betting on this game?
Yeah. No, totally. All right. 425. Steelers at Lions.
That was a 405, right? The previous one? Okay. Pittsburgh at Detroit. Pittsburgh, we have not seen them. They play again tonight. Jalen Warren has appeared on the injury list. I bet the Steelers, by the way. This was another guessing lines play. So I have the Steelers at a bad number. I have them minus 3.5. That was obviously before the TJ Watt news. Steelers right now a minus 3-point favorite, 3-point favorite tonight. I believe.
It's pretty much everywhere juiced though. So 3.5 could pop back again.
All right. Well, that's where that stands. So the Steelers are at the Lions. And that is why, in addition to, just the fact that, again, if the Steelers win, they remain atop the AFC North. If they lose tonight, they fall back into a tie at 7-7 with the Ravens, but the Ravens would currently have the tiebreaker. Obviously, they still play each other because it's at Detroit next week, so it makes tonight's game that much huger more huge, I would say, for the Steelers in terms of must win because they're going to at Detroit is tough. I'd say Detroit minus 6. I make it that high.
Yeah, it's 6.5, 7.
Oh wow, not even high enough.
I laid it with Detroit at 6.5.
Okay.
Desperate Lions team, I still don't think. You're going to have Steelers on short rest. Still don't think the Steelers team is all that great. Not a huge bet for me, but I'm in on the Lions. I think they've looked sharper here the last couple of weeks, dealing with a lot of injuries.
Let's go another.
425, Raiders at Texans.
All right, another reason why that Jaguars-Broncos game is so massive, right? Because the Texans get the Raiders. The 2-12, no account, hapless Raiders, who had 75 total yards yesterday in their loss to the Eagles. Pickett, 15 of 25 for 64 yards. 15 completions for 64 yards. They were outgained by Philly 387-75. And Houston in that win over Arizona, CJ Stroud, 22 of 29 for 263 touchdowns, no picks. Jawar Jordan, 15 carries for 101. They were +2 in turnovers. The Raiders are so bad. We start at 10. I'll say 10.
I don't really know we were going to see the Texans favored this highly ever in 2025. They are 14.5 point favorites.
Wow.
Yep. With a total of 38.
You can't bet the Raiders in anything anymore.
Nah, you can't. I feel very comfortable with our conversation last week of would we play with Coach of the Year, who's the worst Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
Pete Carroll.
Someone said, I want to give Frank Schwab credit for this at Yahoo. I don't know where I read it. That the Pete Carroll discussion has gone from, will he make it, will he be the coach next year, to will he make it to the end of this year? That's how bad they're playing.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
Right now, by the way, the NFL draft order, if you're wondering, of the 3, 2, and 12 teams, the Giants currently, with the number 1 pick in the draft, they're the worst of the 2 and 12s, if you will, followed by the Raiders, followed by the Titans. Then the 3 and 11 teams, Cleveland would go 4th, the Jets would go 5th. This is currently. Arizona goes 6th. Rounding out the top 10, Saints, Washington, Bengals, and then the Los Angeles Rams at 10 from the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, man. Oh, I have to guess this. Oh, we already guessed that. Yeah, so I'm way low on that. 14 is what you said it was?
14.
All right. Primetime games left, that's it?
Primetime games to go.
All right, we'll get to the primetime games. We'll get to the OKC Thunder.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
If you want to bet smarter this holiday season, VSiN has the perfect gift for you or the sports bettor in your life right now. You can take advantage of our holiday special. Get VSiN Pro access through May 1st for just $79. That gives you everything we do, including daily best bets from VSiN hosted guests, real-time betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, AI-powered prop tools, and weekly wide receiver cornerback matchup edges, 24/7 video and full show replays on the VSiN Watch app, complete coverage of every major sport through the spring, from football and hoops to March Madness, the NFL Draft, and the Masters. Plus, you'll get all our postseason betting guides and expert picks, including for the college football playoffs and the Super Bowl. Don't miss this limited time holiday special. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe and unwrap your betting edge today. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. What are you pumping your fist for?
Oh, did you catch that?
Yeah. Were you excited about my read?
I was excited about
That's
your
what it
no, but I
was.
always get excited about the graphic.
Yeah.
We've got a new graphic, the new time of year promo, right? Can you name everybody on that graphic, Gil?
Up here?
Yeah, because I maybe had to take a guess on the hockey player. I know he's our hometown hockey player.
That's
but,
Eichel, right?
That's Eichel. Yeah. We know all four then. I'm going to assume you know the rest. I'm guessing that's Boozer in the back.
I was going to say, it's
I don't think it's a great
it's
angle,
Shea
but-
and it's Jared Goff. And like for a second there, I was like, is that Jamal Murray? No, it's not. 'Cause we already have an NBA player. Yeah, no, it's Boozer. Okay. We get tweets beating the book. Buddhist man, in this year of our Lord 2025, he says.
And in broad daylight. I meant to bring that up. You were doing one of the recaps.
Oh, yeah. In broad daylight. In this year of our Lord 2025, where we're witnessing the most wide open, bizarre of NFL football seasons, why can't the two most likely 4:30 p.m. wildcard Saturday kickoff hosts of all time find their way to the promised land? I say they can, and they will, he says in caps. He just bet the Texans to meet the Panthers. No, he parlayed Texans AFC, Panthers NFC, 698 to 1. Good luck to you, Buddhist.
Good luck, Buddhist,
my man.
Always
By the way,
rooting for you.
cash out disabled on bonus bets. It says Jeff Holdorf.
Catch out disabled.
They're like, we'll take your money, thanks. Jeff Holdorf. Watch the holiday crowds flood to Vegas for the Week 17 Jamarcus Russell Bowl on December 28th. Giants at Raiders, with both teams making a mockery of football, pretending each team wants to win while the front offices are begging to lose. I think that's letting the Raiders' performance off the hook a little bit. They're so bad. Oh, and yes, Anthony Ventresca says, you guys see that DJ Lagway announced he's transferring out of Florida? Danny Higgins mentioned this to us off air a couple breaks ago. Yeah, DJ Lagway. That's a little noteworthy. Didn't see that coming.
I was surprised how much I was familiar with the situation, though, because I remember it being a lot of talk about Lagway early in the season, about how he was one of the few quarterbacks left that had kind of come up through the program, right, with the coach. So it makes sense if they make coaching changes that Lagway might be out.
Sam S. at Samuel Statkis. He says, instead of comparing Browns quarterbacks,
I had a lot of fun with that, okay?
Instead of comparing Browns quarterbacks, ask guests who they prefer between Stalin and Mussolini.
Jeez.
Similar, though not identical. All right, got a couple more games to get to?
Yes, we do.
What we got?
Sunday night and Monday night football. Sunday night, it is the Patriots at the Ravens.
All right, so the Patriots lose to the Bills. They gack a 21-0 lead, but still, by any measure, great season, 11-3. Still atop the AFC East. Still feeling good about themselves. All have and have tiebreakers in their favor. Drake May, 14 of 23 for 155 yesterday in defeat. Did carry the ball 4 times for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns. And a great block downfield for Travion, who was 14 for 148 with 2 touchdowns in the Patriots' defeat. Baltimore, in their win over Cincinnati, you talk about how bad Cincinnati looked, how bad Burrow looked, and how it was difficult to detach Burrow's press conference from that performance. Do you know how many completed forward passes Lamar Jackson had yesterday?
I believe it's 8, Gill Alexander.
8?
Yes, 8.
8 of 12 for 150. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Derrick Henry, 11 for 100. By the way, you know what the time of possession was in this game? Cincinnati, 39-19, Baltimore 20-41. Wow. Just so strange game.
Felt like every time I flipped on the game, Cincinnati had the ball.
Yeah. Now this is big for both. Baltimore waiting the Steelers result tonight. Based on that, Baltimore could either be tied with the Steelers and have the tiebreaker heading into next week, or Baltimore could be a game back, looking up still at the Steelers. Either way, this is huge for Baltimore. I will say Baltimore's a 1.5-point favorite.
Wow. Good on you, Gill. I didn't see your guesses. Now with Danny involved, I don't see your guesses, which I like a lot more.
I nailed it.
Ravens are favorites once again.
2.5.
2.5. This has gone to 3 at multiple places.
Well, here's my thinking on this was the Ravens have been chronically overvalued by the market every single week. Now they actually won a football game. They're certainly not going to not be overvalued.
Lost.
Patriots lose. Patriots have played a very easy schedule. Here they play the Bills and they lose. Ravens by 2.5. I'm low.
Ravens defense has been pretty good. I don't know. Every week we sit here and do this with the Ravens. I took a piece of Patriots money line and I put them in a teaser.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we're still too far on Baltimore.
I do too, but I'm not racing to bet the Patriots either there.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's Sunday Night Football. That game got flexed into Sunday, right?
Yep.
All right.
Monday night, San Francisco 49ers at the Phillip Rivers-led Indianapolis Colts.
The 10-4 Niners, who just are coasting under the surface. Do you know that there's still a scenario where they could be the number 1 seed?
Oh, totally.
I'm saying, man. If the Seahawks beat the Rams Thursday, isn't it on the Niners racket at that point? To get the number 1 seed?
Good question.
I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's true. Niners are 10-4. The Colts are 8-6. And again, the Colts have the hardest remaining schedule. By the way, these two teams, if these two teams are tied for the hardest remaining schedule, final 3 weeks of the NFL season, based on the aggregate win percentage of their opponents, and here they meet each other. Phillip Rivers did not look all that great yesterday, but our bar is so low that there were headlines. People are like, oh, Phillip Rivers looks much better than expected. He threw for 120 yards. Some of those passes were ducks.
My favorite, just because we don't take it I don't take it much outside sports media. I really enjoyed seeing CNN cover it last week.
Oh my God.
And it was like, they chose to go with the angle of bringing the reporter to talk about how Phillip Rivers is going to start this game, and then connect it to how people are working as they're getting older these days. That was
the connection.
Such a specific example.
Purdy was 23 of 30 for 295 in the Niners win over the Titans. Rivers was 18 of 27 for 120. The Colts had 215 total yards in their loss to the Seahawks. Almost pulled it off. I'll say the Niners minus 4.5.
Niners are 5.5-point road favorites.
Yeah. That's fine.
I think they look like a good money line parlay leg to me. I'm eyeing right now, but I have not bet anything.
I've not bet anything yet. What have you bet?
Oh, I've made a few. Patriots Bears in a teaser.
Mm-hmm.
Teased up Bears 7.5. Patriots up to 8.5. I like that. Rams Seahawks. I got in on the under. I got a good number on that though. 46.5. It opened at. It's like 44 or 44.5 right now. Doesn't look like you're gonna have Devontae Adams. Looks like Puka Nacua will be okay, but that was a little scary. They're calling it just a cramp, so hopefully just cramp, no big deal for him.
He came back and played, though.
Yeah, he came back into that game.
Whereas Devontae did not.
Right. And the Seahawks offense sputtering a little bit. So, yeah, I like that under on Thursday night. And obviously, big-time game. I laid 6.5 with the Lions, and I played the Patriots money line as well.
Yeah, so I think I have that right. So right now, the Niners are a game behind both the Rams and the Seahawks. Rams and Seahawks are both 11-3. The Niners are 10-4. If the Seahawks beat the Rams, the Niners still have one left against the Seahawks.
Yeah, it would come down to the tiebreakers, right?
It would come down to the tiebreakers.
No, 49ers beat them early in the season. Right?
And they beat the Seahawks earlier in the season. And I think even if there's a three-way tie at that point, the Niners would win on division record. I think that's the case. So anyway, the Niners are very much in this, and we don't really talk about them nearly as much as those other two teams. Right now, to win the NFC, by the way, Rams are plus 170, Seahawks plus 350, Eagles remain plus 550, Packers plus 750, and then and only then the Niners at 10-1. Bears after that, everybody else longer because we don't know if they're even making the playoffs, right? Lions 19-1, Bucks and Panthers. By the way, Bucks 20-1, Panthers 90-1. This is to win the whole NFC, though. You have to get through the gauntlet of the playoffs, too.
I wish these Bucks numbers were a little longer. Might entice me into a wild Buddhist man like bet on the Bucks, either an exacta or something like that. Well, I think them getting healthy is a thing, and you get healthy at the right time. The last few weeks of the season, while a lot of these other teams are getting watching stars drop by. I mean, the Packers, Micah Parsons out, Devontae Adams for the Rams. Who knows?
Who knows? That's the operating phrase of this whole NFL season. Who knows? OKC, not going to win the cup. 74-8 in Jeopardy 2 now.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Think you know sports? Get paid for it with Better Picks, the daily fantasy app that turns your sports knowledge into real cash money. Just download Better. Pick more or less on your favorite player stats, and if your picks hit, you win. New users get a free $10 just for signing up. That's new users, not new users, Kelley. New users get a free $10 just for signing up. No deposit required. And when you deposit, you'll get a 50% match up to $200. Play NBA, WNBA, MLB, soccer, UFC, golf, and more. Go to better.app, that's BETR.app, or download Better today and use promo code VSIN for your free $10 and deposit bonus. Well, the Oklahoma City Thunder did not get it done in the NBA Cup. That minus 20 on the Thunder to win it before the quarterfinals didn't turn out to be as good a bet as initially perceived, because the San Antonio Spurs knocked them off the other night in the semis in what can only be described as a tremendously impressive performance.
Yeah, it was. I don't think you saw the best out of the Thunder, that's for sure, but can't take away anything from San Antonio. That trio of guards, and then Wemby, what he did in like 20 minutes was amazing.
Well, because he only played 15 minutes until they inserted him late.
Mm-hmm.
And then didn't you get the feeling, though, that as great as OKC is, that he was just the surer thing when the Spurs got the ball? In other words, I was like, what's more likely to happen? The Spurs score with him, or OKC figures out a way to score on him. And it's Wembanyama, man.
I thought there was a couple possessions with Chet were funny. Just like I can't imagine what it's like to be Chet Holmgren, and you get so used to just dominating everybody with the Thunder, and then you run into Wemby, and someone's finally blocking your shots in your face.
He's a half foot taller than him.
Someone's hitting fadeaways over you. Did you see that shot? Like that Wemby hit the fadeaway over Chet. What
about the one where I was it Dort? I can't remember who. Maybe it was Caruso. Knocked the ball out of Wemby's hands. He gathered it in air and still knocked down the mid-range jumper.
Caruso made a couple amazing plays on Wemby. He was great.
He's the best player for OKC.
I know he was caught I know he was caught yapping afterward about a tight whistle and them getting foul calls.
The OKC got a couple bad whistles at the end, but that happens.
The one, JVT actually texted that to me. One comment I'll just make on the Thunder overall, like that's something we heard a lot of last year. You're going to hear it this year. They play very aggressive defense. And I think that leads more often, Gill, to what kind of whistle you get there, what kind of ref. The refs are going to matter more, right? Are they going to let you play more? Or are they going to call it tight? Because what kind of ref you get then can completely swing a game.
San Antonio and the Knicks tomorrow night in the championship, the Emirates NBA Cup Championship, where they are desperately trying to make this a thing. Winner, each player for the winning team gets $530,000 in pocket.
It's even more specific than that, but yeah.
Knicks and Spurs. And what'd you say?
It's even more specific than that.
Oh, more than
yeah.
Really?
It's like down to the dollar and cent. It's ridiculous.
You know what? Just because you said that, I'm going to find it for you.
What was the number you said?
I said $530,000.
I think it's $533.
No, it's $530,900. I shortchanged it by $900.
How dare you?
Sorry about that.
And $900 go a long way. Okay?
Knicks are 2.5-point favorites, and as a special holiday numbers game treat, I'm taking everybody in the crew to the game tomorrow night because we don't get NBA here in Vegas. We're all going tomorrow.
This is a great idea.
We're all going.
Thank you, Gill. We're all going. We're gonna have a great time.
Me, you, Darnell, Larry, Rob Moreno, Danny, Chris, Andre, maybe Matt. 9 deep. We're rolling 9 deep to this ball game tomorrow. That's right. It's not a suite, though, fellas. Just want to point that out. We didn't get a suite.
Gil had to clarify. That was my first thing back. I'm like, oh, it's so nice of you, Gil, to get us a whole suite. Because I knew how big of a pain in the ass it was going to be to get 9 tickets. You did the right thing, too. You split it. You did the rows. So it's not 9 across.
5 and 4. That's right. 5 and 4.
See, Kelly's got to be able to talk to everybody. You know, like I can't be down at one end. I got to yell over at Darnell.
We're putting you center top row 5.
Yeah. I got to be able to turn around, be able to talk to everybody.
How are we going to do this? We're going to all show up at the front of the arena. I'm going to be like dad and just have everybody. These are all my kids.
Now,
we're all going in.
Where are we pre-gaming Chris Foster? Chris was so mad he got put in charge of this. I didn't hear that.
Somewhere outside the arena. Somewhere out there.
Going to Beer House.
That's right. These are my 8 kids. Let's go. So the other part of that, not only do we not win that bet, but we said this about everybody who's got OKC to win 74 to break the record. Once you lose one, like the difference between 25-1 and 24-2, when you're trying to get to 74-8 is kind of monumental. On the other hand, like to win 70 seems like to not win 70 seems impossible with this outfit. So I don't know. You still have 6 games. If you got them to break the record, you still got 6 losses to work with.
It's gonna be a fun race.
We'll
see.
What
have I said the whole time? I think we're looking at the best regular season roster we've ever seen. I think this is a team that could do it.
Yeah.
But it's never been a bet for me. It's just the margins are so slim.
So slim.
Like one loss. It feels like losing a loss in an NFL win total.
Steelers. Let's recap the bets. Steelers. I got the Steelers from last week. Tonight, I got the worst of it. Didn't know about TJ Watt, obviously, with the partially collapsed lung and the subsequent surgery. Steelers not ruling him out yet for the rest of the season, but he will not play tonight. Jalen Warren on the injury report now with an illness for the Steelers. They are 3-point favorites currently against the Dolphins. Tua in 40-degree temperatures, 40 degrees or lower. 0-5. Can I give you the exact temperatures of all these games?
Please.
2021 at Buffalo, 35 degrees. 2022 at Tennessee, 36 degrees. 2022 at Buffalo, 30 degrees. 2024 at Kansas City, -4.
Nice.
2024 last year, Green Bay, 27 degrees. Expected temperature tonight, 15 to 18 degrees for Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins. I've also got, as made on this show here today for Week 16, I like the Chargers plus the 2 points at the Cowboys. I don't understand why they're not the favorite. And I took the full 3 on the Panthers versus the Buccaneers. Don't really get that either. Chargers and Panthers. What do you got?
All right, you have fun with the Panthers this week. It's your turn. It was like betting the Titans early in the year.
By the way, here are my 3 Cowboys bets. We don't erase that. Those are all looking like losers. Cowboys to win the NFC East. Cowboys to lose in the divisional round. Cowboys to lose in the conference championship. For them to have done that, they had to win last night. That's brutal. I do have the Hoosiers to win the college football playoff, though, at 10-1. And congratulations again to Joe Pita, Fernando Mendoza, 150-1. Cha-ching.
Hell yeah.
You, sir.
Let's go, Joe. NBA tonight, a couple bets for me. Rockets on the money line facing Denver. Actually thought this would be closer to a pick'em, so a plus 102 money line price. I am in on all. None of these. I got 2 NBA bets tonight. Neither one of these numbers has really moved. Rockets 9-3 on the road. ATS this season. Both teams with soft schedules recently. I'm nervous about this Denver defense. Gill, just no Aaron Gordon in the lineup. They've struggled a lot more on the defensive side of the ball. 28th rated defense since he's been out. And then the other one I bet, I took the Grizzlies plus 4.5. James Harden's questionable for this game tonight in LA. They're playing the Clippers. So looking at the Grizzlies, who are got John Morant back, Zach Edey out though, kind of some changes in their roster. We'll see how this goes. And then Knicks tomorrow night. Impressive win by the Spurs. I think this line is a pretty big overreaction to that game, Gill. I think getting the Knicks 2.5 laying with them right now, I think that's a good bet. I don't think the Spurs team is 2 points better than what that Orlando Magic team was that we just saw on Saturday night. So I am in on the Knicks. We'll be rooting hard for them tomorrow when we are in attendance. And then NFL for the week so far, Bears, Patriots teaser, Rams, Seahawks under 46.5, Lions laying 6.5, and Patriots on the money line plus 130 as well.
All right. Adam Burke was on the show earlier. Yes. Did he have any plays? He did. North Alabama college basketball, short college basketball slate tonight. He's got North Alabama minus 2.5 at Alabama A&M. Most famous graduates from Alabama A&M. John Stallworth, Steelers.
Okay. I told you we'd find one athlete out there.
Ruben Studdard, American Idol. But he's on North Alabama. College football bowl games this week. Jacksonville State plus 2.5 versus Troy. Old Dominion plus 3.5 versus South Florida. And then in the first round of the college football playoff, the Berkster.
El Bergerino.
He's on A&M minus the points versus Miami. There you go. Landed himself on a first round playoff game. Brian Morianen tweets, who will be the co-host on Wednesday after a night out for Kelley? It's a good question.
TBD.
He's already taken next week off.
Deep Thoughts with Chris Foster.
Dude, that's right. Deep thoughts with Chris Foster better behave himself while he's out that game also.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm far more worried about the crew than me. They got to be here at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Brian, it's just going to be me. There's going to be no crew, no co-hosts. It's going to end up being.
More likely, we should just go. Actually, we should probably give Dave and Jensen a heads up.
That's right.
The people that should probably be more.
Might have to go late. We'll start by saying another segment, then we bleed it to 2 segments, an hour.
Maybe I'll just schedule a text.
You're good.
To send it David Jensen at like midnight and say we took the whole crew out, just like a heads up.
It's late, when they can't do anything about it.
A little bit.
What, you have any play on tonight's game? Nothing?
Nothing. Absolutely nada.
Okay. I'm on the Steelers. I'm locked in at 3.5, sadly.
I don't know. I want to see the weather closer. If it gets back to 3.5 and weather looks calm, I might actually be in the Dolphins.
I'm looking at the weather forecast. 15 degrees, I see. 15 degrees.